So we can do what's Hondo on the mic. From Leo's Paradise, random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels faster than Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting clutch clean, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Playing the knob, Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle rhyme. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
Welcome back to the Lunch Hour stream. How are all you vital idols doing? We gonna kill it today, son. Got a hell of a stream lined up for you. Not just what's in the title. We're not just gonna be covering a supposed PewDiePie YouTube W. We're also not just gonna be talking about localizers. But it's the Wednesday stream, dude. We got some politics to talk. Hopefully you guys enjoying your lunch break. You got yourself some protein. You know your boy got that green tea. Absolutely no sugar. And let's just get into it. Let's get toxic. Let's be radicals. Before we do, I mean, your boy gotta do that little grifty grift. You'll notice we got ourselves down here, the Lolly Hitler support jar. Make sure to tip your local Lolly Hitler lover and supporter. You'll love to see it. Who we got up in this bitch today? We got War Wizard is here, Jackass G22s, Clip 420, Unk Jita, the Free Expression Warrior, Gal Caribon is here, Saint Hugo, Sleeping Nova is up in this bitch, Zelozy, that darn otaku, Grave 1383, Seabrew is here, Wire Bly, aka Wheels, how you doing Wheels, the Straight Sith Male, Habiki Gamer Vlogs, what is up, Caravaggio, cooking Irish things, cause I'm an Irish time, well, then you need to check out last night's Tinfoil Haters stream that was all about Irish cryptids. Rick Costa is here. Shout out Rick, how you doing? Another just absolutely diabolical, radical male crew. Let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's not waste any time. You know I like to do the traditional Asmongold reaction, but today I was wanting something a little more spicy, a little more radical. Asmongold finally fucking went there. Let's go!
Now, Asmongold has been on a tear, alright? He's noticing a lot of issues with modern American society, actually. So we have to talk about the leftoid retard protests going on everywhere, too.
Times Square holds a Quids rally, proclaims support for the Islamic Republic.
I knew this was the right choice. I knew starting with this was the right choice. Quids rally proclaims support for the Islamic Republic. Guys, if we are not careful, if we don't push back now, if we do not force these individuals out of our God-given land, go full Israeli apparently, we are going to lose America the way the UK is losing, Britain. Britain is losing the UK. I don't know. However it's supposed to be phrased. I don't give a fuck about them tea drinkers. I say after I just promoted the fact that I'm drinking green tea. But that's neither here nor there.
Proclaim our support for the Islamic Republic.
I covered this yesterday, actually. This guy needs to go to jail and get deported. I don't care about the order. He needs to go.
Shame, shame.
If you are direct...
Saint Hugo coming in with a 5-banger. Considering the jar name, this first tip is from an actual German. Enjoy. Oh, that's even fucking better. St. Hugo coming in with the Hitler lolly support. You love to see it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Thank you so much, Hugo. You absolute legend.
Allying yourself with an enemy military force. This is not freedom of speech. This is treason. Bro needs to go.
USA!
Oh my God.
Iran is the central pillar of the struggle against U.S. imperialism.
Oh my God, dude.
And I would like to remind you guys that these people claim to be American. Like, homeboy with the mic claims to be American because he was born here. You know, I used to be one of those lovey-dovey, hippy-dippy, libertarian types, you know, that thought, yeah, if you were born here, that makes you American. And I guess on paper that's technically true, but let's be real, guys. This ain't no motherfucking American, and he does not need to be here. Gone, outski, outie like 4 circles, get this dude disappeared. Shout out Hypno, y'all know the drill. Members, give them Hypno emojis, I'm already seeing them.
What do we do? Why are these people in the country?
War Wizard for a 5-banger. That's an excellent question, Asmongold. Why are these people in the country? War Wizard for a 5-banger for the fun to my prediction. Lolly, author/painter, will be the bad guy initially, but will be revealed that maybe he had a point all along. I mean, hey, I think that Halali Hitler will probably make some good points. Shout out, truly appreciated. This is for you.
Call it whatever, but if I made $1 for each time I made a racist joke, I would actually have $0. 'Cause I'm not joking.
Based? Based? Hello?
Shout out War Wizard, thank you for the 5-banger. And yes, look, Lolly Hitler is just a side character in the story, and they are a bad guy from what I'm hearing. But they're gonna be everyone's favorite character. We all know, everybody loves the bad guys. Everybody loves the bad guys. Lolly Hitler probably gonna be the best character.
Bro! The conversation needs to be, how do we denaturalize and deport all these motherfuckers as quickly as possible? That's what the conversation needs to be.
Crowd was chanting that they support Hezbollah and Hamas, both of which are designated terror organizations. Take a look.
So get rid of their citizenships and send them to Lebanon and Gaza, okay? I'm tired of this shit. I really am. Like, we are such pussies.
It doesn't need to be it doesn't even need to be Lebanon or Gaza. I'll settle for like Mexico. Dude, let's send the pro-Iranian terrorist regime supporters to fight the cartels in Mexico. That's what I want to see.
As the collective Western civilization has been so pussified, all right? Bro, we did not win wars, conquer the world, all right, and fight this shit for this garbage, all right, just to become absolute pussies.
Listen.
Supporting Palestine means you're queer. Supporting Palestine means you're queer. No, my version was better. My version was better.
Literally. How is this not, like, I mean, Hassan Piker says the same thing. All of these motherfuckers needs to get thrown into a cannon and rocketed across the world. Deport all of them. But what if they're citizens? Then remove their citizenship. They're allying themselves with an enemy terrorist organization.
Removing citizenship from these people shouldn't actually be controversial. It really shouldn't. Like, look, I get it. We live in a free country. You can have a lot of shit to say about the American government, about the country, free speech, and I'm all for all of that. I am. You want to hate on Trump, you don't like Trump, you don't like Biden, you don't like Obama, you don't like Bush, whatever, dude, say it till the cows come home. But let's not pretend that that's the same thing as literally allying yourself with a terrorist regime whose entire platform is death to America.
Why is this not just an automatic deportation?
Excellent question, Asmongold.
First Amendment doesn't count for terrorism. Think about it. Just take a step back.
I'm so tired when people do the First Amendment.
Caravaggio's correct. Exile was a legitimate legal punishment for all of human history. Exactly correct.
It's like, technically, they have the First Amendment right not to join a terrorist organization. The First Amendment right to join a terrorist organization? Excuse me?
About it. Think about how retarded it is that we're sitting here listening to these people.
And you know what? I'm glad Hypno is here. Because, like, this is the real bigot army, right? This is why I'm so proud to be part of the bigot army. You're like, oh, you're bigots. You don't like seeing, women in video games. This is true. I don't like seeing women in video games, but I'm much more bigoted than that. I don't like seeing brown people with microphones in New York proclaiming their support for terrorist regimes that want to destroy and annihilate our fucking country. That makes me a bigot. Maybe, obviously, Hypno is the marginalized CEO of the bigot army. But you could goddamn right that your boy gonna be a general.
Of apparent terror supporters.
I agree, but citizens? Nah, dude, that's crazy. What do you...
Dude, I love the fact that this conversation is going to evolve. All right, no, I don't care if they're citizens. It really doesn't matter. Oh my god, he's a naturalized citizen. Do you understand that when you become a citizen, you have to make an oath and you're pledging allegiance to the United States against threats, foreign and domestic? If you're saying you support Hezbollah, then you, quite literally, lied on your citizenship oath.
You are a terrorist. You are a threat that happens to be both foreign and domestic at the same time. You are a foreign threat that are here legally on domestic soil, and that is terrifying. Should not be allowed. They already destroyed the UK. We're going to cover some UK shit after this. Mind you, on the Wednesday streams, we talk some shit on the UK. We'll be talking about the UK after this.
Therefore, making it invalid. The paperwork is there, okay? If we actually had people with balls, all these motherfuckers would get deported.
I think just because somebody's a citizen, you should let them support terrorism here? Like, can we please disperse with this fantasy that these people are really American citizens? Do they identify as American citizens? Do they care about American culture? Why are you letting this legal distinction determine your ethics and your morality?
That's why I'd never live in another country. I would never assimilate. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll respect your culture. Absolutely. Dude, you catch me going to Japan? I will respect Japanese culture, dude. I'll eat the food. I'll take my shoes off at the door and whatnot. I won't disparage the emperor or whatever they got going on there. But they have, I mean, even the greatest cultures, like second to America, people that are capitalist and have, a basic semblance of freedom, free speech, the whole nine, like Japan, mainly because their constitution is largely based on ours. I mean, we practically wrote it for them after World War II, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, it's still not the same. It's still, you can never catch me moving to Japan, living there for 10 years, assimilating, and calling myself, a Japanese citizen, right? Because at the end of the day, my heart, my mind, my soul, it would still belong to good goddamn America.
You can even do this legally. All right, that's what I'm saying.
You should think about what the right thing to do is. They have a poster of Khomeini. Oh my god. And now he's holding up more photos of the Iranian. Oh, that's the... Oh, look whose flag it is.
So let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my favorite flag? Yeah. Hezbollah.
It's the mustard flag. Somebody said there's a new bomb threat. A new...
You should take your shoes off the door anyway. Don't bring your outside inside. Bitch. Shoes on all the time. Shoes on all the time. I don't take my fucking... Sometimes I sleep in these motherfuckers. I don't like my feet touching floor.
New York City bomb threat. Can you believe that? The New York PD bomb squad rushed to...
Why are there so many bombs in a city that has a Muslim mayor? It's a coincidence, probably. It's maybe Islamophobia is doing it.
A upper side 9/11 call. They really like making bombs over there, huh? They really like their bombs. I think that what happened, why there's been like a huge escalation, it's because of the Iran war and some Muslims thinking that it is Islam that's under attack.
The idea that this is going on in New York, these protests, these pro-terrorist regime protests are happening in New York. Never forget was a fucking lie. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm, of course, chief conspiracy theorist. I believe, nay, I know, allegedly, that Bush and his cronies did 9/11. I'm under no delusion that it was just Islamic terrorists. No, they allowed that shit to happen. There's way too much evidence to show for it. That being said, these motherfuckers are still partially responsible for over 3,000 lives lost in the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil in the history of our nation. And now we're letting people that support those same terrorists openly call for that to happen not only again, but to the rest of the country.
Rather than a regime that uses Islam as an excuse to oppress people being under attack. Because the mayor excuses and encourages it.
I don't have carpet. I have hardwood floors, Losey.
That he rationalizes it.
This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City.
And then
And they were right. And they were right. And they were justified a second later when someone threw a bomb at them.
Somebody who was Islamic threw a bomb at them. But you're not going to mention that. New York City Muslim mayor names
awesome.
New York's first trans woman to lead LGBTQI.
Asmongold, for the love of all things, do not unmute the audio. Do not unmute the audio.
A plus.
I kind of want to hear the audio. I want to know what sort of man this sounds like.
Never unmute the audio of a trans person.
No, too well. The queer community as well as intersection communities and adjacent
It just sounds like my dad's gay friend Billy I knew growing up. Doesn't even sound like a tranny. Dude, you're not even trying. It just sounds like my dad's gay friend Billy, who thought karaoke was a job.
Are under extreme attack.
Holy shit, look at his hands!
In this country.
Oh my god.
From all angles.
Oh my god! Bro could have been a globetrotter!
It seems from the highest levels of government to society in general.
Oh god.
We're
and
still
to
doing
even
this.
sometimes people that we consider friendly fire, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, no, by the way, I think it's super important to note that this guy over here, literally biting his tongue over here, he doesn't believe that this is a woman.
He can't. By his own doctrine. Dude is a Muslim. By all accounts, he should want this creature that he's standing next to tarred and feathered. Like, and this is, Muslims are real fucking good at this. They're real crafty. They're real sneaky, like, despite their sub 90 IQ. They will allow this shit to infiltrate and infest because it sows division, gets us fighting against each other. Meanwhile, they collect power so that they can do exactly what Homeboy was preaching about on those sidewalks, which was, overturn the U.S. government, make America an Islamic regime.
Doesn't believe he didn't fool this fucker. All right, he didn't believe it's a woman. Right, bro is normally all smiles, 400 teeth shown in every picture he fucking takes. All right, he ain't smiling now. All right, he has to grin and bear it because he knows that the best way for Islam to conquer America is to ally with leftist.
Bingo, bango, bongo. See, Nux gets it. Nux is on the correct page. This is it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And guess what? When the Muslims take over, they ain't gonna need the trannies no more. They're gonna throw them off of the remaining tall buildings that weren't taken out by airplanes that were flown into them.
Retards. That's right. That's right. That's the strategy, actually. Align yourself with the leftist idiots that literally want to allow infinite immigrants to take over our country. Blame white supremacy, all right? Literally use all the fucking talking points of the left every single time. That is how you invade a nation. And bro has to grin and bear it with this fucking guy standing right over there.
And so now more than ever in this moment, it is so critical, I think, to have
And they will ask them why. And the Muslims will whisper, "'Cause you're gay."
What do you need? What do you go to the gay office for? What is the purpose?
Oh, it's very simple. It's to chop children's penises off at rapid strength.
Of the gay office. Like, I don't even understand.
They're trying
Look, I get a lot of people hate the Jews. But at least the Jews only cut off a little bit of the tip of the dick, right? They don't go whole hog with it.
Re-industrialize the grooming of children. It's very important to them because they can't breed. All right, how do they infect the minds of the next generation if they literally can't breed? Well, they're vampires. They need to groom them, I guess. But it's super important. You need to put trans people everywhere to groom the children. And in fact, this literally helps the Islamic process too. I don't think people understand how they feed off each other. The left needs votes, all right, because they don't have children. So what do? They import infinite retards. The infinite retards that are coming into our country, that are trying to steal the country and conquer us, well, they need something too. And it's actually very simple. Not only do they need the left as the policy that they can import more retards, and this is going to shock you, but they don't give a fuck if they're sterilizing white kids. Are you kidding me? That's who these trans people are targeting. You don't see a single trans Muslim. That doesn't fucking exist.
It's amazing how much the left aligns with the Nazi regime. Because remember, the Nazis sterilized people. Nazis were real big on sterilization. And then you'll see everybody on X, Black Trans Lives Matter. It's like, oh, you want to sterilize black males? I mean, you do you. Sounds kind of Nazi-ish to me, but whatever, son. Speak your truth.
Because they're taught from the womb that there's two genders, obviously, because that's normal. All right, they're not falling for this shit. No Muslims are falling for this, obviously. But the Muslims will hug the trans people, obviously. Of course they will, clearly. They're literally operating on each other's best interest, all right? The Muslims get to sterilize the white people and get a body of power with leftist policy. And the leftists get to win elections and bring in a new generation of voters by importing infinite retards. It's a perfect symbiotic system.
And it's almost hilarious because if and when they do take control, guys, I don't know how the leftists don't see this. Maybe read the fucking book. They are infinitely more conservative than even the most ardent far-right nationalists or whatever in this nation. You think that the far-right nationalists are too conservative for you? Just wait until you see what Muslims believe.
The only loser here is Western civilization.
Stand this.
Are under extreme attack in this country.
So let's.
By the way, for the record, the trans community is not under attack. The trans community is attacking. All right, there's a very big difference. All right, there are more trans shooters than ICE shooters. All right, every time there's a terror attack, you always have to flip a coin. Is it a transgender or a Muslim? Every time. It's diabolical.
And honestly, I've gotten to where I'm betting on transgender more often. I am. Only because we've gotten to the point where American society does seem to be rejecting transgenderism. So the media will actually tell you they're transgender when they commit the shooting, as opposed to the Muslims. They'll still try and hide and obfuscate that.
Let's ask, how does Hezbollah treat the LGBT plus community? Hassan Nasrallah, head of Hezbollah, those who commit this act, even if they do it once, are to be killed.
It's literally chickens for KFC all over again. And man, dude.
Wild footage of liberal activists
These guys
block
are retarded.
immigration operations? What is this?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. A lot of these people are wearing masks. I was told by the left that ICE aren't allowed to wear masks. Why are you guys wearing masks? Rules for thee, but not for me.
This is the unholy alliance over here. Right? These are the communists that are fighting for Cuba, and this is what we're doing.
Damn, they've really crashed out hard, huh?
Are you done?
Look at that!
This is embarrassing.
I want y'all to think for a moment. How would you feel if you were this narwhal's mother or father? If you bring a beautiful baby boy or girl, it's one of those, I can't tell which. You bring a beautiful baby boy or girl in the world. The year's like 1999 because the thing looks to be in its early 20s. Shit. 1999. That would still make this thing like 27. Fuck. The year's like 2005. You bring this beautiful baby into the world. You care for it. You raise it. You try to instill with it the good goddamn American values that were instilled upon you by your brethren, by your parents, by your father, by your mother. And it turns into lesbian Harry Potter. I couldn't do it. I would drive to the nearest Wendy's. I would order my final meal. Then I would get in my car with my Beretta, and I would end it all.
Look at this thing! Look at it!
How much? 330 million people in the United States?
I don't know what the political discourse is. I just want to be on the other side of whatever this thing is. All right, I just want to be on the other side. You tell me this thing's politics, and I'm on the other side.
What, 10,000 a year?
I disagree on every policy. I don't know what they are, but I disagree with all of them.
330 million people in the United States?
Man, we really got to get the orcs out of the Shire. This is a huge problem.
Fucking Nazi. Go home. Go home.
This is the person telling you you're a Nazi on the other side of the anonymous Twitter account.
Your empty ass house and your empty ass bed because
the reason, Wendy's is the reason, because if I ever do decide to just off myself, if I ever do decide to liquidate my existence, I want to do it in front of a Wendy's, because Wendy's is where the poor kids go to feel like they've got money, because it's one of the more high-end fast food places. And those are the type of kids I want to scar the most. When they see the windows painted with something red that isn't the Wendy's ketchup, they're gonna remember that.
Of you left you because you're a piece of shit working for a Nazi as a Nazi.
I really hate
Love
this.
that.
I don't think that people should be able to do this.
I disagree. I think it's awesome.
Like, go up to
Please broadcast yourself being completely insufferable and retarded.
somebody like this close and starts yelling and screaming at them. I don't know why we allow police officers and our law enforcement officers to be disrespected by these rabid animals.
You are pathetic.
Nah, I disagree. Operation Let Them Speak. That's where I stand. That's where I stand, absolutely. I think anyone joining the anti-ICE raid should be treated as an enemy of the United States, don't get me wrong. But actually, no, that's based as fuck, actually, no. No, I'm really glad that these people are doing this on camera. I think the best way to crush
And now
the
you're
left
giving
is
a template on how to set up a genuine accident. Not a great plan. What can I say? Nobody's gonna listen to me. I'm not actually a tranny. They're not gonna expect the shooting to be done by me. It'll only be self-inflicted. And again, I'm not actually trans. I'm just a regular straight white guy.
Convince them with ideas because quite literally they're captured. They don't give a fuck. Right? They hate God. They hate Western nations and Western civilization. I think we need to cut obviously foreign funding to like colleges, for example. But we need to
cut foreign funding to everything. There should be literally zero foreign funding ever in the history of foreign funding.
And they do a really good job. And they do a really good job giving us the material.
Yeah, see, this is what I think they should just run them over. I do.
Roadkill asked earlier, why can't he find his keys?
Oh, absolutely. If you're on a job, these people are obstructing justice, you'd get rid of them.
Yeah. The fact that we put up with this is just crazy. I don't know if Marcus Rubius or J.D. Vance would be willing to do what I think they should do. Maybe one day we might get a candidate that is. I think the best thing for you to do is just shut this down as soon as possible. And that way more people don't get a good idea to do this and they don't get themselves hurt.
Yeah, you won't have an Alex Preddy situation.
And I'm pretty sure John...
If you think John Adams shoot this thing on sight, you'll want to know what our boy Andrew motherfucking Jackson would have done.
I don't know about that.
Go whale hunting.
You are pathetic.
True. Anyway, so that's what we're dealing with everywhere. All right, so NBC News. At least 4 House representatives have expressed anti-Islamic sentiments on social media in the wake of the Iran war and the recent violent attacks in the U.S. No. Maybe we wouldn't feel that way if 5 American Muslims in 4 states hadn't used 3 guns and 2 bombs while screaming 1 prayer, Allahu Akbar. Just a thought, bro.
Where's the lie? I'm not saying you gotta trust a politician, not saying you gotta like or be a fan of a politician. In fact, I find that quite cringe. But where's the lie?
Oh, this is a congressman. People are so tired of this shit, it's insane. All right, Bomb Squad, of course, shows up to the New York Police Department. Bomb Squad shows up to a hospital because, I mean, are we surprised? Are we really surprised that this is happening? Are we really? Unfortunately, the liberal women have begun dancing, singing, and grinding on ICE agents as a form of protest. That's where we're at,
Pretty sure that string was out of tune. Hold on.
That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, in a society. The war is being waged. These are the mentally sane people explaining to us how actually the police should not.
Andrew Jackson is the reason why no skins on the reservation never used $20 and only used 2 $10 bills. As someone who lived on the Cherokee Nation, it's very easy for me to rationalize why Andrew Jackson is still my favorite president.
Arresting criminals. I'm really glad we have these twinkle butts over here teaching us exactly what right and wrong is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. These people are single-handedly stopping fascism.
Hold on.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. These people are single-handedly...
This looks like Michael Cera in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Like, I'm getting massive Michael Cera vibes. Anybody else seeing this?
Stopping fascism in its tracks. How could fascism survive when liberal women are twerking on our agents? How could we possibly survive, ladies and gentlemen? The hoification of society is incredible. How liberal white women feel after blowing a whistle and blocking traffic to help a foreign child rapist evade arrest. Unironically true. I mean, listen, man, all of their empathy that they should be using on their children, they can't because they aborted their children.
It's always micro bangs, dude. It's always who the fuck decided micro bangs was a good idea? The moment Ezra Miller started rocking micro bangs, these bitches should have been like, yeah, I need a new hairstyle. I need to change my ways. Have you ever seen a single person, male or female, ever pull off micro bangs? It might be a bigger red flag than the septum piercing, if I'm being honest. Like, if I had to say which one is worse, it's the micro, because it's rare, but a woman could be a hottie with a body and have a septum piercing. Now, they're still probably fucking deranged and insane, but they can still be a looker. Ain't nobody a looker with micro bangs.
Have to use it on child rapists instead. All right, of course, everyone keeps pushing the same narrative. ICE did it again. They released a detainee far from her home without notifying her family. 3 days after having an ankle monitor put on by ICE, 31-year-old Daffy Michael was found unresponsive at a bus station. She died later that day. She was seeking asylum in the U.S. Oh, so she's illegal in the country. Anyway, ICE responds, obviously. ICE had nothing to do with this woman's death. She passed away 3 days after ICE encountered her, followed her, arrested by local authorities for terroristic threats and harassment. Daffy Michael, an illegal alien from Haiti, was encountered by ICE, placed in removal proceedings. ICE issued her an ICE ankle monitor, and she was released from ICE custody February 27. She was released with all of her belongings, including a fully charged phone in sunny weather in the middle of Pittsburgh, where public transport is readily available. March 3rd, ICE received a notification her ankle monitor was tampered with. ICE traveled to her location, and she was fucking dead.
And nothing of value was lost, boys. And nothing of value was lost.
All right, local staff in the hospital refused to cooperate with ICE. Obviously, because they're leftoids. They went through college. Anyone that went through college is a threat. Quite literally, it's insane. Our officers instead have to call the U.S. Marshal Service, who let the building and who were let into the building, were given the severed ankle monitor. However, staff refused to tell the U.S. Marshals about the individual's condition. ICE was never given an official notification of her passing. Found out about her death through the media. This is absolute fucking insanity. Like, these people are dying. All right, this is Pokimane, leftist, anti-capitalist. All right, hello, Twitter.
I would like to remind you guys, why would you take this when you could have Lolly Hitler? You got your two options, boys. You got Lolly Hitler or this thing. What route you going?
And I just felt the need to remind you that this is, in fact, a 29-year-old woman. This was completely irrelevant, but I felt like including it anyway, because fuck Pokimane, and that's literally it. And that's literally it. Literally. I hate these e-girls telling you about
Islamic is not compatible in the West. Wrong, Hibiki Gamer. Islamic is not compatible with the world.
A 29-year-old millionaire, and I'm here to criticize billionaires. Fuck you, bro. Yes, I'm gonna make fun of you for no reason.
Yeah, Carrie Mont for 6 months says, Lolly Hitler, bingo, bango, bongo, you love to see it.
That's what happens when Nuxanor is unleashed. Definitely subscribe. All right. So this is an Islamic imam in Michigan. Michigan, for God's sake.
I don't even think he knows how to build a car.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know,
he doesn't even look naturally dark like that. He looks like when Saturday Night Live will, when blackface was acceptable on Saturday Night Live.
In the Quran, he talks about he uses the word batu. System of the kuffar is batu.
That's us. We're the kuffar because we don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Word means batu. Batu meaning.
That's us.
It is unacceptable.
You say he looks like a wax figure? Nah, dude. Nah. Hold on. Dana Carvey, Swami, Master of Disguise. This is what he looks like. Right here. Now this. We got this. Corporate wants you to find the difference in these two pictures. Corporate wants you to find the difference in these two pictures. Spoiler alert, they're the same picture.
Unbelievers, that the Muslims always have of the unbelievers, and that is, we should not fear death.
That's what we're dealing with, a death cult. Yep.
And that lack of fear of death is what has always given us power over them. I remember years ago.
We know you blow yourself up and shit, and people are scared of it now. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
True.
A situation where somebody had jumped into a vehicle, I think it was in Africa, and they ran the vehicle into this huge building and blew it up and killed a whole bunch of people. And they came to Ronald Reagan to ask him about that.
They asked him.
And he said, and I'm not a good imitator, he said, well, how in the world do you expect to stop a man who is sitting in a truck full of explosives and he's running into a building and saying, God is great. I mean, he couldn't understand that. It's when you reach that level where you don't, your love.
When you join a death cult, you're willing to die. Yeah, thanks, man.
This world is replaced by the love of the hereafter. And therefore, the removal of the fear of death is no longer there. You got the edge. The Waldheim is taken. The softness is taken. All these things are important. The original plan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to his creation is caliphship.
And yet they call Christians the bad guys. Hollywood calls Christians the bad guys. The left calls Christians the bad guys. Guys, I don't think Christians are the bad guys.
The Khalifa is the policeman of the planet. So
yeah, the caliphate, where the Islamics conquer the world. Yeah.
Those badges you see, you know, FBI. And
exactly, Jen.
Homeland Security.
Create a man with nothing to lose.
Right. Deport this guy.
The only title that means something is the caliphship, because that is the title that Allah.
This looks like a public access show from 1982. Like, how are you gonna capture the hearts and the minds of the people if you don't have a streamer sitting there next to you calling you based and saying shit like poggers or whatever?
And said that this progeny, this successorship that goes all the way back to Adam, alayhi wassalatu salam, they will be the policemen of the planet. So
we're importing people that don't believe in our law enforcement, that are the law enforcement of the planet.
In order for that policeman to exist, there had to be a perfect system.
Wow.
And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, he gave, in the beginning, he sent the caliphship to the Anbiya, to the prophethood. And each prophet brought a brick that added to this house. Maybe they established jihad over here, and Sheikh Al-Bani, rahimahullah, his position was that
jihad is
you have not
holy
C4
war. Just to understand.
You know, that might be.
I'm here to help.
Fire. You know.
Look, I'm not making you Islamophobic. This guy is. All right, I just want to make it clear before everyone says that I'm radicalizing people. I'm not radicalizing.
Fuck that. I'll take credit for it. I'm radicalizing people. Absolutely. I don't give a fuck. This has no business being in our fucking country. None whatsoever.
For some cause that exists in that particular land.
I'm just here to help.
The real jihad must take place on a world scale. Why?
I would like to remind you guys, this statement, a real jihad needs to exist on a world scale. He's in Michigan. This is 10 hours from me. 10 hours is nothing. Homies came from across the pond in planes that they miraculously didn't fly into buildings for this shit.
To globalize the intifada, that's weird.
Because to establish, the purpose of jihad is to establish Dar al-Islam. What is Dar al-Islam? Dar al-Islam is the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Sharia law, wow. So the goal is literally to come into our countries, conquer us, and impose your own laws and fuck ours, I guess. Wow. If I said that, I'm Islamophobic. If an imam says that,
if any white person says this, you're a colonizer. Muslims say it, and it's to be very proud of it. Hey, they're celebrating their heritage, their religion of peace, so I'm told.
It's his system.
To be fair, they let someone else drive this time. You know what? Fair enough, Grave.
And under that system,
got it.
And under that system, it is so fair that it says it is created this piece called the dhimmi.
The dhimmi, that's the status that the kafar is, for those of you that are unaware. That means that you are a subservient. All right, where they let you live if you pay a tax for your life.
And dhimmis are those who are outside the religion.
That's right. So you are a second-class citizen if you are a non-Muslim, and it is their job to impose God's wrath upon you because Muslims are superior to the infidels because they're willing to blow themselves up. I'm glad we're on the same page. Really good.
I love what I do for a living. I love my country. I love my friends, my family. I'm not willing to blow myself up. If that makes me inferior, guys, your boy's inferior. I'm not willing to blow myself up. I'm sorry if you came here looking for superiority.
We have these people in our country. And the reality is people are really tired of this, especially me.
What we know about the man behind that attack just described, who he was, how he came to America. Let's bring it.
This is referring to the Islamic terrorist that blew himself up in a Jewish school 2 days ago.
Usher Qureshi. Good evening, Usher.
You know, I was listening to the reports on this. There have been two different that I know of very recently, within the last week, bombings at synagogues. And they got me thinking about, Linkin Park, the band Linkin Park. I love Linkin Park, right? They got a song called Hands Held High on their third album, Minutes to Midnight, the best album. I don't know, Hybrid Theory is pretty good. Meteor's good. Oh, the first three albums are all such fucking bangers. Anyway, Hands Held High, Minutes to Midnight. Got a lyric that says, "A bomb blew the mosque up yesterday." And I was like, I hate this lyric. I've always hated this lyric. Even when I loved this song, even though I love this album, I hate this lyric. Because even then, it tries to, it puts this picture in your head of just these poor, downtrodden Muslims and whatnot that, they're always fucking murdering each other. They're murdering us. They're murdering everybody. Bomb blew the mosque up. Guys, I'm gonna be real. Bombs be blowing a whole lot of synagogues up as of late. Whole lot of synagogues.
Good evening, Tony. Well, CBS News is learning more about Ayman Muhammad Ghazali tonight. Overnight, federal agents raided his home behind me. Just 2 days before the synagogue attack, Ghazali, seen here on this security video, bought more than $2,000 worth of fireworks. Tonight, the FBI confirmed that
He was just prepping for the 4th of July, guys. $2,000 of fireworks. He's just really proud that he escaped an Islamic terrorist regime in Bumfuckistan, and now he gets to come here and celebrate the 4th of July because he's proud to be an American. This is completely wrong for you guys to attribute Islamic terrorism against Jews, America, a synagogue, to him when he was just buying fireworks.
Fireworks were found in the truck. Ghazali was born in Lebanon and entered the U.S. legally in 2011 on a spousal visa.
Why do we do this? Why do we let...
War Wizard for a two-banger. Muslim Al will be like, whoo. Shout out. Thank you for the two-banger.
Let this happen.
Yeah, drives a nice-ass truck, too. Yep.
5 years later. He lived alone in Dearborn Heights just...
Okay, but why does he look like a slightly lighter-skinned Epic Mike? Why does he look like a slightly lighter-skinned Epic Mike? Hold on. Let's go some media here. Come on, Epic Mike. I'm sure you posted a selfie recently. You used to post a bunch of fucking selfies. Here we go. You got my boy. You got this dude right here. We need to question where Epic Mike was the night of that synagogue bombing. He could have used some makeup. He could have lightened himself up a bit. I beat an EB member for 12 months, attaining that Super Saiyan godhood. Kind of just sounds like the word YouTube won't let me write Goyim. I was trying to get this comment through a few minutes ago. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Shout out. Thank you for 12 months of membership, homie.
Down the block from his job at this restaurant. Now, on March 5th, family members, including Ghazali's two brothers, niece, and nephew, were killed when an Israeli drone attack struck their village in Lebanon, leaving him distraught, according to community members.
Oh my God, Israel just killed his family? Who were his family?
A local journalist in Lebanon spoke to villagers who claimed Ghazali's brothers were members of Hezbollah's rocket unit.
So you mean to tell me that this guy's brother was literally firing rockets at civilians in Israel, and Israel struck back and killed them, and now this guy decided he's going to blow up a school in America? Really? Like, what are we doing?
Would not provide their names. Now, Dearborn Heights Mayor Mo Beydoun said this afternoon that while Ghazali recently suffered a tragedy, there is no excuse for violence. He also pledged support for the local Jewish community.
I'm sure he did. Anyway, so pretty weird how this keeps happening. Now, why are we literally bringing these people. First of all, the guy's a fucking terrorist. He tried to blow up a school and kill 140 kids. Thank God he failed because his truck got stuck in the hallway.
Thank God he failed because he's got a sub 90 IQ and couldn't even do the one job that his God and prophet gave him correctly.
Then he ended up killing himself, right? Because he's the most retarded terrorist of all time. I covered this in my previous video. But the reality is, all right, and I think it's super important to understand exactly what we're contending with, is we are contending with a death cult, a literal death cult, all right, that's now in our country, quite literally. This guy literally has family that are Hezbollah terrorists, and we still let him in and still made him a citizen. We made him a citizen despite the fact that his family are literally Hezbollah terrorists. Why? Why are we doing this? We don't have to live like this, man.
And there it is, boys. And there it is. Why the fuck are we allowing this in the country? This, like, expulsion. Expulsion and deportation. Sorry, like, remove. I don't care if you get your citizenship revoked. I don't. In fact, I advocate for it at this point. Oh, you were born here? Well, have you ever stood on a street corner and praised terroristic regimes that chant death to America? Now, have you ever advocated for the removal of our Constitution and our political system in favor of Sharia law? Gone. Outski. Dunzo. Deuces, son. Go try that shit elsewhere in sand people country where nobody gives a fuck. That's my thoughts. But it ain't just America, baby. It ain't just America. The UK be pushing back. Leftists are discovering Restore Britain. Oh, let's see what our boy Sargon got to say today.
So Rupert Lowe posted this on his Twitter feed, and man, this is funny. I mean, this is great framing, right? I'm delighted to release Restore Britain's first ever party political broadcast, and it's this guy.
Yep, we got Anthony Fantano over here. We got British Anthony Fantano. I bet he's so excited for the new Gorillaz song. Let's go.
I don't know who he is. I don't know who Words by Curtis on TikTok is, but my God. Am I gonna...
Looks like a fruit salad. Fruit salad. Dummy, dummy.
Stereotype the hell out of him on the assumption that he looks and sounds exactly like I expect his political opinions to be. And clearly, he's really, really bothered about Restore Britain. We're going to watch it. Let's see if we can get through it without cracking.
Why Gorillaz can't say, look, I love the Gorillaz. I do. I love the Gorillaz as a band. But Damon Albarn, the lead singer, he is a massive wokey. I mean, he is a massive wokey. So that's why the Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Hey, you know these lot that are saying vote Restore Britain? Are you alright?
Yeah.
His teeth look exactly like I would expect a British person's teeth to look.
Yeah, we finally got something we can do, right? Because the thing is, right, I wanted to save this for a bit later in this video, but I'll get it out of the way now. Nigel Farage was not who you thought he was, right? You thought he was some far-right radical.
And I've been telling people for the longest time, Nigel Farage is a fucking pussy. He doesn't have the stones to go 1/10 of how far should be gone. And no, I haven't heard the new Gorillaz track. I know they dropped it. I know the new album is out. It's in my listen to later list, but I haven't actually listened to it yet.
You thought that he was someone who was actually a racist, where actually Nigel Farage was deeply stung by allegations of racism every time, which is why you kept leveling them, which is why you kept whipping.
Count Dracula and Clint Eastwood are the best songs you can name any more other than one. I mean, dude, I've seen Gorillaz live. I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. M1A1 is incredible. M1A1 is one of my favorites. Kids with Guns is a banger. Dirty Harry is incredibly good. Melancholy Hill is good. Super Fast Jellyfish is an absolute sleeper hit. Joplin Spider, which technically is supposed to be like a 2D solo project, even still Joplin Spider is really good. I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. I've got like a couple Gorillaz vinyls just sitting back there.
Him with this word. And this is why he's lost so much support. Because he's afraid.
Melancholy Hill. Hey, Molly out here. Of course, Molly would be a Gorillaz fan. Melancholy Hill and Smoke Comes Out the Monkey's Head are bangers. Melancholy Hill is that like 2 a.m. tipsy song where it's like, okay, I'm alone, the lights are out, I just need a pick-me-up. Melancholy Hill is like, that's a feel song, baby.
Of people like you. And now you've made it so that only someone who is immune to your special magical word of hate can actually stand up and say, okay, well, it's got to be us then, because we don't care about this person's opinion. We don't care the magic words he's going to try and use to shut us down. We don't care about any of that. That just doesn't have any effect on us whatsoever. And so now he can't believe what he's hearing.
And what he's hearing is the common sentiment the world over. Let's not forget that Million Man March that happened in the UK just a few months ago. Let's not forget about the Million Amelias.
Am I happy about it?
I think you need to have a little lie down, mate. Have you seen this Rupert Lowe fella?
Yeah, he seems pretty sensible to me.
Have you seen what he's up to?
Yeah, he's organising a political party. It seems to be going great. 100,000, 110, 113,000 plus in the first month. Branches opening up. Massive splash on social media. Yeah, it seems that he's doing something quite interesting, actually. Seems that a lot of people are getting on board. Just saying.
He wants to deport fucking everyone, mate. He don't...
Good! Good! If Rupert Lowe can deport half of everyone, that'd be a good start.
Well, yeah, I'm so...
Oh, dude, the 192000 Soul Child remix is also a bang. That's a driving song, dude. 192000 Soul Child remix, that is a windows down summertime driving jam.
Old, where do I sign up? I don't think he wants to support quite everyone, does he?
And yeah, Demon Days is an album that if I could forget my memory of an album and go back and listen to it for the first time ever, Demon Days is like a top 5 contender for that spot.
I mean, this is very similar to the Boris Johnson thing. Oh, he's homophobic and racist and this and that. And everyone was like, well, give him a majority. It turns out Boris Johnson is a wet lib as well. And Nigel Farage is basically the same. And this guy's like, oh, God, I think the real deal has finally come along. I think he actually just doesn't care about our moralizing and our condemning of him. What are we going to do? And
in fact, it would only make him stronger. The more condemnation, the more moral outrage, the stronger that Rupert Lowe and his ilk become. It's the straight up Obi-Wan Kenobi philosophy. Strike me down and I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
That's going to be a problem for you.
Don't even care. He's like, yeah, get rid of everyone. The only thing he seems to bother about is what the colour of their skin is. He's got this big thing. He's going, all these Pakistani grooming gangs. Hey, on, mate. White people do that shit too.
They don't, though. And that's the unfortunate reality. They don't. Now, don't get me wrong. Individual whiteys be out there, sure, grooming, raping, whatever. But they don't illegally force themselves into a country, stalk and rape and maim 9-year-old girls, then force the entire political system of the region to bow and kowtow to them. Otherwise, they're just going to blow you up. And they sit there and sulk in their sad little feely inside parts. And like, oh, well, everyone's all racist to me. No. Sorry, white people, don't do that. Discount needle drop.
Oh, come on.
The government does sweep it under the rug, though, Matt Stanford. Epstein files still be a thing.
Okay, let's assume that there was a parity between Pakistani rape gangs and white British rape gangs. Let's assume that was true. It's not. But let's assume, for the sake of his argument, that this is true. I mean, it's something like 30-1 or 20-1, something like that. It's a ridiculous. I mean, there have been like 3 or 4 like white working class rape gangs that they found and arrested. No one's covered it up. No one's been deplatformed for it. No one's been turned into a figure of hate for exposing it. The police actually did something about it. The political class condemned it, unlike with the Pakistani grooming gangs. But let's assume that it's a 1-for-1 ratio. For every Pakistani grooming gang, there's a white grooming gang. Does that make it okay? Does it make it?
Nah. Deport the Pakistani ones, tar and feather, and lock up for eternity. Maybe even execute, frankly, because I'm a fan of public executions, the white ones. You don't understand. Grooming gangs and rape is grooming gangs and rape. Fucking kill them all, but I give a shit.
So that we go, well, that's, that's that job done. It's like, well, just one bad deed cancels out the other bad deed? No. What we could do is halve the number of grooming gangs.
Guys, 2 wrongs don't make a right. But 2 rights make an airplane. Thank you, I'll be here all week.
In the country by deporting those people who are foreign who have been engaged in grooming. So we would save half of the victims of the grooming gangs. Now, we will save far more than half of the victims of the grooming gangs because the proportion is not parity, it's not 1 for 1. But this, even on its strongest interpretation, is a terrible argument. And what it says about this guy is that he's just fine with white working class girls being the victims of the grooming gangs. He's just fine. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's literally trying.
They're not even working class girls. They might be from working class families, but they're children. They're not even working. These are school children. They're 9, 12, 13. That's not even working age, dude. This shit is disgusting, bro. We're over here making jokes about Lolly Hitler. By the way, drop some in the Lolly Hitler support jar. You love to see it. We're over here making jokes about Lolly Hitler. But these are actual 9 to 13-year-old girls, you sick fucks.
Trying to explain it away as if this is just a natural force. There's just something that happens, part and parcel of living in a modern country. No, this is disgusting, and I'm glad that this guy is on the other side of whatever issue I'm on.
All right, but you don't seem to fucking post all over Facebook when they do it, do you?
No point. They go to jail. It doesn't take decades to send them to jail. It doesn't
you wonder if the Ron brothers ever built anything? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Ron brothers are the ones that made the Matrix movies.
Require raising awareness to send them to jail. I mean, all of the ones you see where it's like, oh, look, 9 of them have gone to jail for this, and it's literally like 90% Pakistani men. They're for historic crimes. They're for crimes that happened years ago. Those ones that are currently engaging in the crime now will, in a decade or two's time, maybe, if we're lucky, go to jail.
We're talking about crimes, we're talking about the Muslim grooming gangs. How many of y'all think that, Faded Salmon Shirt Boy over here has probably got some CP on his computer? Just, if I was to hazard a guess, like, what would the over-under be? If we were betting on Polymarket that this freak right here had some exploitative material of children on his hard drive, who would place that bet? I'd place that bet. I'd place that bet.
Because for some reason, we just don't take this crime seriously when it's coming from a certain community. When for you, the turn of the draw, the luck of the draw is, oh, what, we found a white one. Oh my God, well, that was unusual. Yeah, they're going to jail. They've just been caught. Now they're going to jail. It's like, well, okay, that's good. That's how it should be. But why isn't that happening with...
Death on Trikey, 100%. Les Morse Rose, 200%. He's not even going the Price is Right round. He's like range. He's just doubling up on that shit.
With all of them.
The worst part is he doesn't even care.
Mind you, while we're on the subject, I bookmarked this, right? I sure did. Whoops. I sure did. Oregon high school principal Jeremy Williams, who was placed on leave for celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, sentenced to 5 years in prison over possession of child pornography. Just 5 years. First of all, this dude's gonna ruin Hawaiian shirts for me. I fucking love Hawaiian shirts. 5 years is it. Dude was the principal of a school, worked around children. I need you to take that 5 years, and I need you to multiply it by $100. And that's if we ain't going full death penalty. That's it. We ain't going full death penalty. Yeah, he done in jail on society. Absolutely. He got no neck. You're right. He does have no neck. What state? Oregon. Oregon. I don't like Endymion, but he right. Just in case you guys need an update on that little situation here.
And that's the point we needed to get to, wasn't it? That's the point it had to get to. There was no reasonable discourse with the other side.
Michael Doberman coming in with a 5-banger. The neighborhoods that knew these girls were being held for years. Grandmas were feeding them in cages. Send them to space. Send them to space.
So here's the deal. Life doesn't always want to be your friend. Sometimes it'll feel like life wants to hurt you.
That was a downer.
But you can't just hide, because nobody likes a quitter.
Your ass don't hurt.
I'll go first.
You gotta take chances.
This fire isn't gonna stop me!
They never said it was gonna be fun or easy.
Subscribe to New Black Street, subscribe to Atreus, and yeah, I'll catch y'all next Saturday.
Send them to butt rape space. Shout out, Michael. Thank you so much, homie.
At any point, we're like, hey guys, we can tolerate multiculturalism and immigration and whatnot. Can we just have fewer rape gangs, please? We would like fewer children raped. And you were like,
it's like you're ordering in a fucking restaurant. It's like, yeah, no, I'll take the prime cut of rib, green beans on the side. Can you hold the mashed potatoes? Can you hold the rape?
No, absolutely not. That is core to our philosophy and worldview and future plans for this country. White children being raped. That was his. He's literally just come out and said, no, I don't care. I don't care because it happened on both sides. Therefore, it's equal. Therefore, it's the same. Therefore, there's nothing wrong with it. That was literally his frame. And now he's just like, wow, this guy just doesn't care that I'm shaming him over things. I can't believe he's not listening to me and treating me like I'm engaged in a dialogue with him. Because the dialogue has only ever been one way. Me berating...
The Lost Prophet singer didn't last long in jail. I think he was in a couple of years before they got to him. But yeah, they did get him. They did get the Lost Prophet singer. That's true.
You. And now...
Good, by the way. Good.
Like, don't respect your opinion. Don't care about your opinion on anything ever. And he's just like, wow, this guy just doesn't care. It's like, yeah, and that's the superpower. Just begin at the position where people like him...
Yeah, Sargon does daily uploads, plus he has a massive podcast of the Lotus Eaters. Huge show.
His opinions, their opinions, just don't matter. And actually, we can do whatever we like. We can march forward and win on the merits of the arguments. And people like this, we don't owe them anything. We don't have to listen to them. They sure as hell don't listen to us. So why should it be reciprocal?
When he gets called a racist, he posts on Facebook all the time going, oh, apparently saying this makes me a racist. Oh, well. Oh, well.
Yes, oh well, because the word means nothing. Congratulations, you and your pink-haired fucking flock over there have diluted the word to meaning goddamn nothing. So yes, oh well. Call him a fucker a racist. It literally doesn't matter. Call him a Nazi, call him a xenophobe, call him a bigot, call him Islamophobic. All these are badges of pride at this point. And you did that. Congrats, Four Eyes.
Oh well. Hard on life, isn't it?
Is that what you want to teach children in this country?
Yes, literally yes. I want every single child to know that being called a racist means fucking nothing. It means nothing. I want all the America, the UK, whatever, being called a racist means nothing. It used to mean something. And you know what? And when it meant something, yeah, it was bad to be a racist. But now being a racist means I don't want these illegal infesting termite Muslims to come in and rape our 13-year-olds. That makes me a rape. You know what? Wear that racism with pride.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether
you're guilty for
38% of the children in this country aren't British or like white British. And that's an issue, right? We don't want to become a minority in our own country. And I know you think that's racist. I know you think it's racist to not want to be a minority in your own country, but I don't think it is. I just don't think that is. And so it's got to the point now where just don't care.
It's okay, yeah? That being a racist is all right. Fucking grow up, mate. Seriously.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's loads of racism that comes from minority communities too.
What hair? Charlie Brown has more hair than he does. Yeah, Charlie Brown has the good goddamn sense, though, not to turn his into a flamingo fucking look.
To the white British community. There's loads of it. I mean, the grooming gangs themselves.
Leon, you said you approved of execution. I do think we should have... Dude, here's the dealio. You want to hear my thoughts? Public execution, not it should be fully supported, fully legal. Like, here's the dealio. We got the death penalty in the U.S., right? Here's my diatribe on this. We got the death penalty in the U.S., but it all happens behind closed doors. Maybe a few people go in and watch it. You never hear about it. Motherfuckers sit on death row for like 11 years before they finally get their execution. No, we wrap that shit up before lunch. We do it in the public square because here's my thought process. Motherfucker gets hung for rape. You're probably going to see a whole lot less rape, but people are there actively watching it in real time being like, I don't want that to happen to me. Is it going to get rid of it altogether? No, you ain't going to ever fully eradicate the crime. But when you got the public consciousness there focusing on the execution happening in real time right in front of their fucking face so they know it's real, it's visceral, it's there, it's probably going to curb some of that shit. Probably going to curb some of that shit.
Were a racist phenomenon. So you've got to, and then this is not going on about all of the other smaller things, the beatings, the territorialism, the graffiti in Birmingham, no white men, or no white people after 8 p.m. or whatever it was the other day. Like, acting as if it's only one way. I know you've got your rationale to say that it can only be one way, but acting like it's only coming from one way means that, again, you think it's fine that they do these things. You think it's fine. You think that they're entitled to. You think it's good that they do it. That you're fine with it. You think the way things should be is minority communities being racist to the majority English community until the majority English community becomes themselves a minority. And it's like, okay, how are they going to treat us then? They're going to be like, well, we were racist to you this whole time, but now we're not going to be racist to you. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's how it's going to be. And I don't think that actually the kids need Rupert Lowe to tell them to look after themselves and stick together. I've got kids living in this multicultural society, and all of the kids in the schools do it. They all stick together because it's just not safe like it used to be.
Seriously, being a racist has no fucking place in this country, yeah?
Oh, you good goddamn right it does. It absolutely does. Didn't used to. Because back in the day when it was at 80%, 90%, 95%, whatever it was, white community and whatnot, and you had some people out there acting like fucking troglodytes towards, minorities that didn't do nothing. That's a problem. I'll agree with that. But once you have an infestation of people that are nothing but leeches, and they are using and abusing not only your government system, but the actual regular working class people that made that nation great, or at least great-ish. I mean, let's be real. The UK has never been no fucking America. But you get my point. Nah, racism becomes pretty A-okay, pretty acceptable.
Says who? What does that even mean? What is this country if you think that people feeling like it belongs to them?
That's why Russia is based. You get 20 lashes when your sentence starts, and then another 20 after your bit is done. God damn!
And they belong to it. There's no place in the country, which is what you're describing as racism, by the way. Something as trivial as that is racism. And who decided this? When was this handed down from on high? Who was the prophet of leftism who decided that actually, but you're not allowed to be a racist here? Says who?
This is not a country of divide. This is not a country of aggression.
What? We have the world's largest empire. How is that not a country of aggression? What are you talking about? What? This is just left-wing value rhetoric, isn't it? I've got a series of values. Okay, well,
This sounds like the setup for a joke. Leon, did you hear the one about the pedophile that stabbed himself 26 times in the Russian woods? I didn't, straight Sith male. Please go on.
Rapists in the rape gangs agree with those values. And if they don't, which they don't seem to, judging by their actions, I think you might not be correct, mate.
This is a country of patience, of peace, of community, of acceptance, yes?
Nah, I'm sorry, we're done with that. Done with all that. Done it. Tried it. Got tens of thousands of children raped. Loads of terror attacks. British people
The great divide in England is classism, still is. Hey, there's a massive classism issue in America as well. Classism is a problem the world over. I would not deny that whatsoever. Maybe we can work on the classism shit, though, when we get all the illegal invaders the fuck out of our country, and then we work on the classism for the people that should be here. Now, what's your stance on politics? Could you explain it without using political lingo or labels, though, please? The main reason I stopped watching this sort of thing was because definitions kill description. Yes, absolutely. I'll do my best to do that. My stance on politics is that might makes. Not might makes right, is that might makes. So if you got a society that you want to run in a proper order, then you best have the might to do so. I ain't here for any sort of moral qualms about politics or whatnot. Look, I'm an open Christian individual. All the moral qualms and whatnot I can have between me and my God, not the state. Fuck the state. That's my thoughts on politics. And I know it sounds like I'm trolling, but I'm being like 100% sincere, so hopefully that answers it. And if you have further questions, let me know. Now, if you're talking about specific policies, I can give you thoughts on specific policies, but just overall politics in general, that's my thoughts.
Displaced from their own cities. The government persecuting them when children are murdered. We've tried all of that. Too many kids raped, too many kids killed, too many people, lives made miserable, lives ruined because of all of this. We've tried all of it. It's over. Get used to it. That's over, mate.
So people like Rupert Lowe, yeah, fucking move on, son.
Nah, we've tried it. We've been there. We've done it.
War Wizard with a 2-banger coming in just says, base. Shout out, my man. Appreciate you.
We're not having it. And this is the kind of person who's going to be really upset about that, but I'm sorry. Just terribly sorry. We've been there. We've done that. We've tried it. We've got the shirt. We're covered in blood. We've lost family members, and we've had enough. We've just had enough of it. Your view of the world leads to terror. We're not having that. We're having our view of the world, which leads to peace, harmony, and the things you claim to want. That's what we're doing. Link in the description if you're British or in Britain. Come and join Restore Britain. Again, more than 113,000 members, something like that. We want to catch up to whoever's next.
That number needs to be bigger. That number needs to be bigger. 113,000 is a good start. It's a good start, but that number needs to be bigger. Shout out, dropping the link in the chat for you guys. Make sure to give it a like. Excellent video. You'll love to see it. Look, I've made a lot of jokes and a lot of clowning on this channel about how the UK has fallen, and I'm not a black pill individual, man. I'm not. I do think there's hope for the UK. But I think the hope for the UK lies in people in the UK, actual citizens, people that love the country, people that love the culture. And the actual country, not the politicians, but the country. Growing a fucking spine and actually fighting for yourselves. That's what I think. Alrighty. We got some politics out the way. We've been going for about a little over an hour. Let's get to the title card. PewDiePie put out a video saying, I fixed YouTube. Interesting.
Okay, hold still. Hold still. What? Attention's dropping? Attention's shot? Oh no.
Out the gate. Oh, I gotta show y'all something. Attention dropping. Some of the attention dropping. It was talking about the algorithm brain. Let me show y'all some real dumb people shit, right? Some real dumb people shit. Where'd it go? Wrong. Come on. I know. Here it is. It's a comment I got. It's a comment I got on one of my videos about talking about the high anime shutdown, right? Talking about the piracy issue. Me, Sevi, and Cinny had a very interesting discussion about this in the stream. It's a good solid half-hour discussion between me, Cinny, and Sevi. Sees the video title concerning a topic that may be interesting to hear about. Sees the length of video. 32 minutes. I'm good on that. Me. Have fun on TikTok. I don't need these ADHD motherfuckers now. If you're not here for long-form content, whether it be streams, whether it be videos, you want to watch shorts, you want to go over and use Instagram Reels, your TikTok shit, whatever it may be, fair enough. Within the first 8 seconds, he's calling out this bullshit, and I appreciate it.
Oh no! You got algo brain. Hit him with a Reddit story with Minecraft parkour in the background. Is that helping? Still? Hit him with one of those crafting videos where you just go, hey, what the heck are they doing over there? Still dropping!
I completely agree. TikTok brain rot is a real epidemic. 100%. And it comes off as hypocritical. Oh, Leon, you put out shorts. I clip quick little rants I have from my streams as shorts and then link them directly to the stream in effort to get people to watch the full thing. So maybe I'm contributing to it, maybe I'm not. But the TikTokification, the ADHD brain, is a massive issue.
My God! You're worse than I thought. 5 TikTok instances. Auto-scrolling. 3 audiobooks playing at the same time. And 7 memes. Feet-related memes. Oh, okay, now I have your attention. Okay. We found your baseline. Thank you.
Yeah, all my shorts are within the 45-second to 60-second range. It's just, however long it takes my rant to go through.
Hello. Now that I have your attention, I can finally give you the cure. Your brain has gotten messed up from the algorithm in ways you don't even understand. I know, because I used to be the same. But I managed to escape the algorithm. Touch my computer. That's right. You may touch that. Disgusting. Ah! And I get it. Who cares? Another one of those, hey, I quit the internet. Look at me. What's interesting about this isn't that it happened, it's that it happened by mistake. I didn't mean to do it. It just sort of did. And you know what that means? That means there's a cheat code. There's an easy way out. And I will share this cheat code with you. Not so fast. Always.
Well, I mean, he mentioned, another quit the internet video. Look, I don't think anybody needs to quit the internet. The key phrase is all things in moderation, including moderation itself, which means that every now and again, you can indulge more, right? Look, there's nothing wrong with drinking, but you gotta be moderate about your drinking. Every once in a while, you want to go hog wild, have yourself, you get legitimately drunk or whatnot, so long as you're doing it responsibly, things to that effect. And I'm a believer in that. The internet, at the end of the day, is a tool. The internet's a tool like any other tool. Should be something used responsibly. You want to know what I did yesterday before my stream? Before Tinfoil Haters, before we did our deep dive on Irish cryptids? I went bowling. Went and played laser tag. Went out to eat. Did some shopping. All day, from the moment I got up, out and about, doing things, having fun, experiencing the real world. Then I came home and did some research for the stream, set up the stream, all that stuff. And then after the stream, hung out with the fam, played Minecraft for a couple of hours. Then went to bed. I was actually off the internet for the vast majority of yesterday. Felt good. People just need to be like, willpower is the biggest issue. Motherfuckers don't have willpower. You don't need to be like, oh, I can't do this, so I'm addicted to XYZ, so I just need to cut it out completely. Maybe that works for some people, but the internet's a tool. It's a tool for education. It's a tool for interactivity. It's a tool for socialization. Just gotta use it as such.
It's instant gratification, huh? You gotta wait. Hit him with more feet. No, I'm just kidding. We all have algo brain, and to certain degrees, it's okay. I call it algo brain, but in reality, it's just that I think being online messes with your head. I think it's just a price that we have all come to accept.
Minecraft is not online if you're playing it offline. I play it offline on the Switch. I play local offline Minecraft on the Switch with my family.
But I say no more. No more. Because we all know the internet is bad for you, but then why are we here? Just to suffer? Why are we? I'm standing here, stress levels down. Are we stressing? Do I look like I'm stressing right now? What are we stressing about? Huh? What's so goddamn important? My brain synapses are firing again. All 3 of them. I feel like I'm 6 foot right now.
I disagree with it being inherently toxic. Well, right. It's not inherently toxic. I agree. I completely agree. It's not, the internet's not inherently toxic. That's why I laid out that it's a tool.
Not to exaggerate or anything. I am memeing, but I feel like I have something to share for once, okay? And I will yap. Just so we're clear. But I have the cheat code. I have the cheat code. It's a TPD. I didn't know how to hit you. I'm sorry. To get to the cure, we have to understand the disease. So what's the problem then? I think the problem lies with our limitation in our brain, or should I say not limitation. I read a book about our brain one time. I learned that there are certain elements to your brain that is just hard-coded, okay? There's just no way to get around it. But there are also elements that can be trained, like your attention span. And because of that, that also means it can degrade. And because tech companies, these goddamn tech companies, their metric of success is how much attention they can suck out of you. And that means it's a race to the bottom. That's why clicking a YouTube video is like getting a shot at it in a shotgun. Point blank range. Like, bro, chill. That's why the more time you spend online, the more alpha brain you got. The more sucking has happened to you. 5,000 engineers just go optimize his retention. And
yeah, to his point, these big tech companies, I mean, there's a reason they have paid millions upon millions in research and studies to master the art of stealing your attention. Like, it is a problem, 100%.
That job has been passed down to me. I didn't ask for this. The whole success of this YouTube video is how much I can keep you engaged. What happened to just simple old clickbait? I gotta engage people now. I was ready to give you the cheat code right away, but the algorithm says no, it's not my fault. But I'm telling you, you gotta free yourself before it's...
Brain rot has proved this is more harmful to children than adults. I mean, it's, again, I don't think it's... Yes and no. Okay, so let me rephrase this. Is it more harmful to children than adults? Probably yes. I don't actually have stats to back it up. I don't know one or the other, but probably yes. That being said, that's a symptom, not the cause. And the cause, for me, goes back to the cause of nearly everything else, which is bad fucking parenting. Just sitting your kid in front of a device and letting the device raise them.
It's too late. I'm standing here, 6'11", practically. Not to sound like a boomer dad again, but I am concerned for how this is affecting, especially the kids. Did you know that Gen Z has the lowest cognitive performance ever? Or the first time it went down. We would always become smarter. Who can blame them?
Look, Gen Z been playing them Resident Evil remakes. That's what it is. Blame Capcom. If Capcom hadn't remade greatness, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, if they had not remade perfection and repackaged it for these Gen Z idiots, maybe they'd be smarter. Maybe they'd be smarter.
Look at the environment we're in. I get the argument, the counter argument is like, well, they're better at playing Minecraft. It's like, okay, cool. Games when I was a kid was fun. Now look at Roblox, the biggest game for children, has microtransaction in it. That's weird. Now there is short form content. Hooray, yippee. And just so we're clear, I am a fun person. I like a meme. I like a short. But now, what I'm not okay with is AI generated shorts, which is being created. So we got consumed with no intent, created.
See, I have no issue with AI generated shorts. I don't think there's any difference between AI generated shorts and regular shorts in terms of what they do or don't accomplish. They serve the same function. Whether it's AI or not, brain rot shorts are brain rot shorts. And well-made informative shorts are well-made informative shorts. Now, granted, one of those far outweighs the other in terms of how much you'll see them on the timeline. But whether or not it's AI, I think it's completely irrelevant to whether or not it's brain rot.
With no intent. Congratulations. We've industrialized nothingness. And it's just getting worse. You gotta free yourself before it's too late. I'm like a Morpheus right now. This is your moment, bro. I'm here for you, bro. I want to make it.
I like to watch crafting shorts like gym cutting, metal work. I don't watch shorts at all. I hate shorts form content, with one exception. As a bass player, every now and again, I'll see some sick-ass bass guitar shorts. I don't care if it's one of them hot women in a fucking bikini wiping on the bass. I don't care if it's some 67-year-old dude who probably played bass for like Eric Clapton once. If I see someone with a bass guitar, there's like a 50-50 chance I'm clicking on that short.
Clear that everything I say in this video is okay to indulge with. If you want to play Roblox all day, knock yourself out. But the key is intent. That's what matters. Intent matters. If you go around your life not making your own choices, then who the heck are you? You are your choices and your actions. That's what shapes who you are. We understood this from philosophy thousands of years ago. But if you don't even make a choice and just let algorithm dictate your life, you got like the MIB alien in your brain steering. Classic example. I used to catch myself all the time being on my phone.
Well, and you know, this isn't even just in regards to shorts. He is correct about the algorithm here. People being told what to think, not how to think. Which, I mean, that's why I always tell all y'all guys, while I make jokes about, hey, I'm radicalizing you, my goal is to radicalize you, this, that, and the other, I also tell you frequently, check me on my bullshit. If I say some shit and it's wrong, correct me. I'll look it up in the moment. I'll see if it's wrong, and if it's wrong, my bad. Like, just parroting the Leon talking points, or parroting the Asmongold talking points, or parroting the Tim Pool talking points. For the love of God, nobody should ever parrot the Tim Pool talking points. That is ultra mistake level shit. Like, yes, this stuff might be appearing in your algorithm. You might watch it. But you also need to think for yourself. Is this correct? Is it right? Should I, do I need to research this further? Do I need to fact check this? Because everybody got an agenda.
Without intending to. And I get so pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck? I forgot. It's like you opening the fridge to me. Same thing, I find myself just wasting time. And I'll be like, I did not want to do this. If you want to do this, that's good for you. But I don't want to do this. But I found the cure. And a lot of it is going to sound crazy, but you gotta hear me out. It's a step-by-step process. And I'm not saying you have to do all of it, but you should do some of it. For me, the solution started with my de-Googling video. That's not to say Google is the whole problem with everything. Clearly, I failed with my de-Googling. I'm still on YouTube. And full transparency, I still use Google Maps. It's too good. It tracks traffic too good, okay? What am I supposed to do? I tried using like a wrapper for it, but then they banned that. So thank you, Google, for smuggling. Again! I can't, there's no escape! I wanted to remove all the tracking and telemetry. So I put all those apps that I didn't really trust in a second profile. Social media, anything attention hungry, it went on the second profile. And I swear to God, I cannot understate how much that has changed my life. Those 5 to 6 seconds that it takes for me to switch over to the other profile stops me every time from going, hey, is this what I want to be doing?
This is a correct barrier to entry. Like, if you give yourself your own barrier to entry, most folk will just disregard it. I do this with email. So I've got my main Words of Paradise email account, and I've got, which is my business email. Now I've got my personal email. And I keep my main Words of Paradise email active pretty much all times. And then I almost never switch over to my personal email. Like, if I really need to, I will. But just the fact that I have to hover and click, or on my phone, switch to my personal email or whatnot, it's like, I'll check it later. And I never check it. And it's so great. Yes, create your own barriers to entry.
People get dumb phones to stop themselves from wasting time on their phone, but really, that's all you need. You just need a little bit of friction. Now,
11K unread emails. You joke, War Wizard, but I'm pretty sure my email inbox for my personal email last I checked was like 8 or 9K. Like 8 or 9,000 unread emails.
My phone is what I want it to be. A device that serves me, not the other way around. I'm not the product. When you do head over to the other side, the dark side, or I should call it the rainbow sucking attention side, it's so obvious what's going on. Like, everything is so desperate for your attention. Since my phone and text messages and email and all that is on the main profile, I always have to swap back. Anyway, you should do this. The second thing I did was self-hosting. You gotta self-host, man. They're coming for you. The effect that self-hosting did on me was that I am not the product anymore. What the things I use are mine, and because they're not free, I'm not paying.
Yes, self-hosting is a thing. It's not finished yet. I've been slowly working on it. Self-hosting the official Words of Paradise website. Self-hosting the official Words of Paradise website. There'll be, let's see, where is it? Where's the... You know, you got the on-site chat with the IM function right here. You know, you get IM other members and stuff like that. There'll be a guest book. There'll be links to all the other channels I'm in. But like, yeah, this is completely free. Now there's paid versions of it and whatnot if I want to make the website better and upgrade it and things to that effect. But the point is, I agree with him about self-hosting as well. Self-hosting is gives you an air of freedom away from the YouTube algorithm, away from X, away from really just the rules and restrictions, and we can walk within our own ideas and guidelines of, you know, what we consider free speech, things like that. So, needless to say, now, it'll be a while before this is fully operational. You guys can access it at any point. I mean, I'll drop the link in here. It's just kind of barren. There isn't a lot to do yet. But you can absolutely access the Words of Paradise email. And pick up the pace. I've been incredibly busy. Thank you very much. And to be fair, I have to manually update this. So I've actually done stuff since then, but I haven't manually updated the last update. So, but the point is, yes, I agree completely with PewDiePie on the manually hosting aspect.
With my privacy or getting algo smucked. I think the main difference is that ads and news don't reach me. It's hard to explain the effect that this has on you without actually experiencing it. I'm one of those people that believe how much the subconscious affects you. Even if you are not actively processing information, just the fact that it exists in your peripheral messes with your head. All these services.
That's exactly one of the main drawing points for Cooney. It is pretty much an automatic gatekeeper because you have to go out of your way to use it. Correct.
Going. It messes with your head, man. How much? Like, even if you're not actively clicking on all these bullshit, you still see it, and I still think it messes with you. Self-hosting, I'm just here vibing. It's me and the tools I use, nothing else. No noise. That's why I'm proud for today's sponsor, which is Hostinger. If you're looking to self-host, you can rent a VPS, which is basically like a strong computer in the cloud, available 24/7. If you think self-hosting is difficult, they make it so simple for you. You get Docker, which is like an app store for free self-hosting stuff. You want to host your own kind of Netflix stuff? One click, bada bing, done. Now you own it. Congratulations. It's mine now. I own that. What's great about it is that it's available 24/7 and no matter where you go. I still use my Steam Deck to self-host, but certain services are just better to host on a VPS. I host MyChess website on there. Look at this beautiful thing. You can host your Minecraft game server on there. Any weird thing you can think of, they can host it and they make it so simple for you. I only pick sponsors that I use myself, and I highly recommend Hostinger, and you get 10% off with the PewDiePie code or link in the description. Their lowest tier is already super powerful, and it's only $5 a month. It's a great deal, I'm telling you. They got NVMe storage and epic processors. That means it's fast, okay? That's all you gotta know.
IBDEB says he has like 9 Hostinger accounts. Nice.
Whether you're a noob or a power user, they got you. And if you're self-hosting, they also have domains, so you can be like a pro and to put like web.your hosting. It's cool. So yeah, genuinely proud to have them as a sponsor. I highly recommend checking out Hostinger and start self-hosting. Once you try it, that's when you like it. They should have that as a slogan. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disable shorts. Poof, gone.
You can disable shorts? Like, I never use shorts, so I didn't know you could disable them. I never watch them, so I just scroll past them. And, like, I also do most of my YouTube stuff on the desktop as opposed to on the phone. I'm curious. I'm curious. Hold on. I'm gonna run a poll real quick. How are you watching this stream? Phone, desktop, and then I'm gonna add the TV option. Although that shouldn't get any clicks because you can't vote on polls on a TV. So I'll just put other.
You don't have to do this. I like YouTube, okay? I don't have to de-Google everything, okay? But I hate how shorts is everywhere. I can't escape it. I search, there's shorts. Homepage, Short. I go to someone's channel, it's shorts. It's just shorts. Fucking everywhere. That's fucking shorts.
Yeah, but see, I don't know that. See, when you go to the YouTube desktop app, right? Scroll, and yeah, here's shorts. But if I, bitch, get out of here. If I keep scrolling, there's no more shorts. Oh, shit, there is. That did not used to be the case. Oh, fuck off. See? Bass player. Okay. Yeah, but no more shorts after that. There used to just be one line of shorts. Now it looks like there's a couple line of shorts. But the point is, you know, there's... On the desktop, at least, you're not just inundated with shorts.
I don't want to watch a short all the time. If I was running a website, I would want to empower my users. Google CEO, hello? Why can't I just...
You know, on my homepage? There's no way Hypno wasn't on my homepage. Hold on. There's no way Hypno wasn't on my homepage. Oh, shit. I'm not seeing Hypno on my homepage. This is YouTube belting you. This is not proof that I don't watch you, because I watch fucking nearly, not all, but nearly all of your videos. This is some YouTube fuckery, not me. Forgive for getting a strike.
Disable if I want to. Why? Well, I took matters in my own hands. My last video, I trained my own AI and I was testing out what it could do. And so I gave it a super simple task of just writing an extension to block shorts for me. And bada bing, bada boom. Ah, beautiful. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Let's keep fixing YouTube. No more homepage as default.
See, but do you really need to block shorts? To me, like, I get the idea of this is like quitting cold turkey, which is fine, but I'm just more of a fan of the idea of willpower to not do it.
Are you seeing this? This is so nice. Let's watch Jacksepticeye.
Why? Why would you watch Jacksepticeye?
So to get a detonator.
No sidebar with recommendations. It's just the video. Let me do a comparison.
Oh, there's a good level. Oh, shorts. You want to watch shorts? Oh, you want breaking news? You want breaking news? You want more shorts, actually. And a sponsor.
Oh, you wanted to go to the comments? No, you have to scroll through all these fucking videos to get to the comments. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
Okay, that is a nice change. That I will like. Removing the sidebar is a nice change. I'll give it that.
Goodness gracious. This is crazy. I fixed YouTube.
My subscription box. That's what I want to see. Not just random algorithmic choices all the freaking time. Not only this, how to pick me, pick this video, pick this video. No, the subscription box, which I chose. And then all of a sudden, oh, bliss. YouTube as I enjoy it.
See, I don't know though. I've found, and maybe this isn't the case for everybody, I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll real quick, by the way. It looks like it's pretty dead even. Phone and desktop both at 45% and then 9% on others. So that's interesting. Anyway, I find this, like, the YouTube homepage gives recommendations. And I find recommendations to actually be quite helpful. Whether it be things that I become interested in or can use for, can use for video coverage, can use for stream coverage. I wouldn't have found this video, actually, without the recommendations. This video came up in my recommended feed. So, I don't know, the idea of going, like, only by subscriptions, to me, limits what you can find. So, I scroll, if I just go to YouTube, this is in my feed, I want to watch this. Am I subscribed to Warren? I'm not sure. Am I subscribed to Warren?
Like, why do we need to jail people without bringing up a...
Okay, yeah, I am subscribed to Warren. Let's see, we got Rev, we got Clownfish, Legendary Drops, fuck the shorts. See, I'm not subscribed to Side Scrollers. It's recommending me Side Scrollers based on other stuff I watch, but I'm not subscribed to Side Scrollers. I don't think I'm subscribed to Cash Jordan, but it's recommending me Cash Jordan. I've seen some Cash Jordan videos and I enjoyed them.
From across Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, I'm not subscribed to Cash Jordan. Sub to Asmongold. Click this if you're real. I have no idea what this is. Maybe this is something I'd watch. I'd have to think about it. I'm not subscribed to Justin's Reborn. So, like, I like the idea of the homepage because it gives you recommended things that you might want to watch. I have found a bunch of content and a bunch of creators that I only watch because they were in my recommended feed. Oh, yeah, Celestium's great. No, I love Celestium. Her and I were talking recently. She's awesome.
Connecting with people, being entertained by them, learning from them. Not this sporadic schizophrenic experience to be online. Like, oh my god, it's so jarring when I turn it off. I'm like, oh god, is this what it used to be like? Oh, maybe this whole thing is just a me thing. Okay, I'm telling you, man. Now I found out someone has already done this, so I'm gonna link theirs and you can just instantly fucking do it. But yeah, I fixed YouTube. You're welcome. Next, I unfollowed everyone.
Now I will say, thinking on it off the top of my head, the desktop for you in recommended feed is way better than on TV. Because when I'm just sitting here gaming, I usually have YouTube going on my TV over there. And the for you, the recommended on the TV version of the algorithm, I will say is way worse than on the desktop. So there is that.
You don't have to do this. This is definitely a me thing. I just got really fed up, and I do think it's kind of funny because remember the congressional hearings with Facebook where Zuckerberg loved being a human? Well, what came out of that, in case you didn't know already, it was that 10% of all social media on Instagram is social. 90% is just bullshit. A bunch of information fed to you by a machine that don't know you and don't care to know you, I tell you. I always had this idea that I had to be on social media. I have to, otherwise how am I gonna connect with my friends? Meeting up with them? I don't do that either, but I'm just kidding. Maybe just talking to them. Maybe just ask them what they are doing instead of stalking them like a fucking weirdo. It's okay to share stuff, that's fun, I get it. But maybe not everything? I don't know, man. It just had the effect that I don't even bother to go because like, what am I gonna do? Look at memes? Although I have delegated that task to Marcia, she shows me memes now. So that's another way to do it. You just...
I've delegated that task to you guys. I don't look at memes. I don't like memes, usually. I'll be real. I don't like memes. I feel like a lot of memes are just stolen jokes that are used in comedy clubs by unknown stand-up comedians and uses memes on social media or whatnot. Like, I'm just not a fan. That being said, when I delegate the memes to you guys and you post them in the meme section of the Discord, there's a lot of good ones in there. I ain't gonna front. Y'all put a lot of good memes in the Discord, and I get quite impressed with a few of them.
Find someone else, and they do the work for you. I do think it's funny because I quit Twitter a few years ago because I just thought it was getting too toxic, and then people would come to me.
Bitch made. Bitch made. X isn't toxic. X is only toxic if you let it be toxic. Hold on, let's take a look. Let's take a look right now. Let's go home. We got Kata. How do you value feedback with replies locked? It's a good question. We got Defiant L's. Annoying myself into buying this. Why the fuck would you celebrate watching someone at death's door suffer no longer? Put down a suffering animal. I personally wouldn't want to watch a loved one slowly die. So, in case you didn't hear, Scotland's voted no to assisted suicide. So yeah, this isn't toxic. I don't know why it's in my algorithm. It isn't toxic. It's funny. All right, we got a Resident Evil post. We got my girl Melee K. I have no idea who Potato McWhiskey is. Sure, black people in cultures. In some cultures, women get down on all fours and while throwing up. Yeah, point is, it's only toxic if you let it be toxic. I don't. I have fun on X. That's what it's for.
He'd be like, yeah, Felix, it's real bad. Anyway, he was like, why? No one's forcing you to be on this website. I feel like everyone has this idea that you have to be on social media. You don't have to be on social media. Next, get a DNS block.
Well, but then where do you get your news? I mean, that's an honest question. If you're on social media, specifically X, where do you get your news? Legacy media? You gonna trust that bullshit? Google News algorithm? You gonna trust the Google feed when they've been exposed time and time again to being ideologically driven? You need to have somewhere where you can get news that is, at least the news that's not being widely reported on by the mainstream media. You can do the fact checking yourself based off that, but you gotta get from some. You don't need news. You do though. Serranos, you absolutely need news. If we didn't have news, we wouldn't have people showing that the UK and America are suffering from a migrant invasion right now. You absolutely need news.
It's kind of the same as YouTube thing that I did where you block a bunch of stuff, only that it does it on a network level. So you can remove ads, you can remove websites. None of it even reaches your device.
What do Americans need to know that for? Because Americans need to know about the influx of migrants being shepherded into this country so that they can at least have a chance to fight against it, as opposed to slowly losing their nation to a grand master plan that's been enacted since the 1960s that they are not privy to. That's what the American people need to know that for. Otherwise, the country you have 80 years later isn't America.
I think that it's kind of insane now that I think about it. You probably have done this too. We grew up on the internet unfiltered, and we are still unfiltered internet. I'm not crazy, man, but that's crazy. I forgot to mention, you can also host a DNS on your own. So if you're using Hostgator, for example, they make it easy for you to set it up. You'll have a DNS blocker anywhere, which you should have. Anyway, last but not least, I'm not a productivity person. Believe it or not, I don't even think it's real. It's just a feeling that you give yourself. It doesn't matter what you do. If you want to play games all day, browse social media all day, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think what matters is that you choose to do it. And I think a lot of times we don't want to admit that maybe some things isn't our choice. I still doom scroll because sometimes I'm just fucking tired. But I replaced it with my own list. I host my own RSS feed. It's what I pick to doom scroll. Okay? I can still make that choice. Different websites that just isn't that bad to me. Bookmark, blog.
I think by far most people have too much news and information compared to lack of it. I think you're incredibly wrong. I think people have incorrect information, misinformation. They have, excuse me, an entire feed that is completely controlled by a State Department that is telling them what to think, not how to think. What people aren't getting isn't news. It's, as you put in quotes, news. That's why I'm referring to real news. People don't have too much information. They've got too much lies, deceit, obfuscation, misinformation. That's very different than what I'm talking about.
Whatever. I think you owe it to yourself to take some time today and start building.
Most people are getting news, and being on X does not help most people with that reality. I would absolutely argue it helps them far more than if they were just to watch CNN or Fox News or CBS. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Your tech fence. That's what I'm calling this. Tech fencing. These tech companies don't care about you, so you're gonna have to start caring about yourself. I care about you. That's why I'm making this video. So the cheat code is basically build some friction. It's that simple. Let your brain catch up. And
most people are not smart enough to parse through the trove of news and information and use that to help their own lives. That's irrelevant. That's completely irrelevant. Whether the people are smart enough to do it, that's a them problem, not a news problem. That's not a problem with access to the news. Access to real news is incredibly important. It's incredibly necessary. People being retarded is a them problem.
Make the choice yourself. And also, filter out the noise. That's your defense.
We're not talking about whether normal people should be using... If that's what you decided you want to talk about, fair enough. That's not what I said. He said you don't need social media. I said you do for real news. That's the caveat. For real news, i.e. not legacy media, you need social media. Absolutely.
And that's your cure. Now you understand the disease. You are free. Bon voyage. That's my new outro. Just kidding. Breakfast.
That's not what he said. He didn't bring up the news at all. I brought the news. He said you don't need social media in general. He just said as a blanket statement, you don't need social media. I said, yes, you do for news. He never mentioned news. So when you're saying Pew is saying most people don't need the social media for news, that's not what he's saying. He did not mention news in any way, shape, or form.
Let's get real for a second. The internet is worse than ever. Everything is free. Free apps, free services. But remember, if it's free, you're the product. And companies have taken full advantage of this. Your name, your phone number, your address, your relatives, your shopping habits. They trade this and sell this. And you might be like, I don't really care, whatever. They make money off your data. And it's not just like a little bit either. You're worth a lot more than you think. An estimate was 250 billion every year, and per person in the US is around $700. That's crazy. The good news is that you can clear yourself from these companies. You have the legal right to do it. Yes. Problem, it will take you forever and you have other problems in your life. I understand. That's where Incogni comes in. They do all the work for you. You just sign.
This is the second sponsor at the end of the video.
Up, give them the authority, and then you sit back and relax and you watch the updates come through. Oh, another one new. Ah! I think it's so cool because it used to be a thing where you were just helpless to and you just had to accept, but now you can actually regain control. Take control of your privacy because otherwise someone else is going to do it for you. They also have this custom removal for their unlimited and family unlimited plan, where basically if you find something about yourself that you want removed online, you can direct them to do it for you, which is an amazing service. Another thing that I thought was completely impossible before. Check out incogni.com/PewDiePie for 60% off. Take advantage of that deal. It's an amazing deal. Take privacy seriously in 2026. That's incogni.com/PewDiePie. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to anime.
So, first of all, based. Yes, get back to anime. Absolutely based. That being said, here's the video real quick. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. I disagree with a lot of his mentality here. I disagree with a lot of his mentality because so much of the mentality seems to be the internet sucks. Here's a bunch of tools to basically force you away from it, which maybe that's necessary for some people. I think it's a willpower issue. I do. Just don't be a bitch, right? Go out, touch grass, live real life, use the internet sparingly, use it as a tool, all things in moderation. My job is entirely dependent on the internet, so I'm on it a lot. Probably too much, but in all reality, I still take plenty of time to do things that have goddamn nothing to do with the internet. Once I'm done streaming or making videos or doing streamer video prep, I'm more or less off. I'm playing video games or I'm cooking or I'm going out and about and shopping. Your boy's still a mall child. Yeah, I got that Peter Pan syndrome. Love going to the mall. Go to the mall like a couple times a week. It absolutely is a willpower issue. He's running from his own position, filtering garbage from your feeds made him happier. And I get that. But his title of the video, which is what I'm critiquing, is I fixed YouTube. I don't think he did. I think that, yeah, you've got the tools to do that to yourself if need be. But I still consider that a Band-Aid and not a direct attack on the root cause. He's attacking symptoms, not the root cause. And the root cause is that people are bitches. And they don't understand moderation. And they let these things run their lives when they don't have to let that happen. So it's that simple. I get he's running from his own position, but I think the position is a weak position. People dead be bitches. Yeah, absolutely. People bitches. People be mad bitches. Alrighty. We got at least one more video to go over. Trying to wrap up relatively early today just because, you know, with the Florida trip coming up tomorrow and whatnot, gotta get more work done. Gotta finish packing, stuff like that. We gotta talk about Western localizers getting replaced, so let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about localizers, Western localizers again, having their way with Japanese media.
That sounds so wrong.
How much y'all think that our new up-and-coming fan favorite Lolly Hitler anime is going to get just destroyed? Do you think it's even going to get a dub? Do you think it's going to get a dub? I don't think it is. I don't think that the Lolly Hitler anime is getting a dub. And if it does, it's going to be destroyed. You got Reanimal tonight? Yes, we do. We're gonna finish Reanimal tonight. I hope we're gonna finish it tonight because I won't be free to play it for a while.
There's an anime series called You and I Are Polar Opposites on Crunchyroll. And of course, we've got Western localizers taking some liberties with the translations. And this comes a day after we talked about this other localizer, Katrina Leonidakis, who has apparently gone or gone private on Blue Sky because they've gotten so much.
How you gotta be such a fucking loser that even Blue Sky kicks you or you get suspended or whatever? Like, that is actually kind of impressive. That is a fucking feat, bro. Because let me show y'all. Now, this isn't Blue Sky. This is Threads. A little bit different. But really, it's the same. Let me show you guys what Threads was saying about the Lolly anime, about the Lolly Hitler shit. Elmer over Two Banger. I remember Interspecies Reviewers, episode 1, dub only. Yep. They dubbed the first episode and they canned the whole project. So this is from a couple months ago. The scene in Ratatouille where he keeps reading the letter and it gets progressively worse. Petals of Reincarnation, an anime that features Hitler returning into a lolly elite general. Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and Julius Caesar will officially broadcast April 2026. If I had a nickel for every lolly Hitler anime I had the misfortune of knowing existed, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't much, but why the heck did it happen twice? Saga of Tiny the Evil is not lolly Hitler. It's lolly Nazi. It's not Hitler, so you're wrong. You got the Ratatouille meme. Hitalia is honestly a really bad idea and should have never been made, but somehow this is so much worse. Crunchyroll choosing to partner with the Israeli AI company to generate their subtitles was the beginning of the end. I've seen clips of this anime. It's genuinely fucking as terrible as you think it is. How have you seen clips? This is January. The anime isn't out yet. How have you seen clips? You're lying. I'm the first and last in my bloodline to read this. We already got anime Isaac Newton who lived on the moon in the vision of Escaflowne, which they didn't spell right. Also, most importantly, it was free of any Hitlers. Japan never beaten the allegations. What's irritating about this, I saw an advert saying about historical figures like Einstein fighting. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. They failed to mention Hitler being a lolly general. Is Bungo Stray Dogs for history people? I'm history people. The answer is no. The bones connected to the oof bones connected to the yeah. People are, dude, this is 2 months ago. They were freaking out about this on Threads, dude. They're freaking out. Shonen manga origins. We woot light novel first. The question is, exercise and humiliating the memory of a massive bigot or weird homophobic fascist gender bend wet dream. Sounds very bad. It's like Face Stay Night, but exponentially worse. Unironically want someone to make a lolly Trump anime while he's still alive. He would hate it so much. I don't know that he would. I really don't know that he would. Yeah, more Israel stuff. So anyway, I had this idea where we take Hitler. I'm going to stop you right there. Dude, it's amazing. The freakouts over that anime are freaking amazing. So to wrap this all back, yeah, you had to do something. Katrina Leonidakakis had to do something so fucked up that even these sorts of platforms suspended the broad.
Well, what's this? The actions for my consequences for my actions.
Yeah, so she was basically calling for fans to bully Japanese companies into letting Western localizers and Western union actors work for them.
And I'm pretty sure she works for Square Enix now. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she works for Square Enix. Hold on. Katrina Leonidakakis. I believe it's Square Enix. Let's check. Localizers. Here we go. Katrina, discussion with Leonidakakis. Editor, translator. Credits on Persona 5 Royal, 13 Sentinels. How'd you get? I don't care. You're not in translation. You're in localization. Completely different. Maybe this won't tell us. All right, here's a LinkedIn. Let's take a look. No, I don't care. I don't care. Let's see. What does it say your job history is? Worked on Pocopia. Freelance translator. Okay, so maybe she was contracted. Oh, no, maybe it was Sega. Okay, she worked for Sega directly in 2022. So maybe it was Sega, and maybe she had a contract with Square Enix. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Point is, she's working in this industry. She's working on these games. and she's saying shit like this. Bully these studios into using Western localizers.
Bully them.
That's what
like
she said, flat out.
Literally
Bully
said,
them.
bully them. Bully them. Send emails shaming them. Comment how you will never buy their games again. Call their customer support line. This probably was about Mega Man because they said they weren't going to work with union actors.
Hey, cultural appropriation is bad unless they're the ones doing it.
Yeah, right. So now we've moved on to this other one. This is there's a thread by Packer Girl on X. Now we have to give a hat tip to our friend Sarah who sent the link over, and to Chibi Reviews, I think, covered this as well. So want to make sure we're giving proper credit.
El Mervoth for a 5-banger. Saga of Time of the Evil existed pre-COVID colonizers. Cannot wait for the read for season 2. Censorship has me iffy to watch, but I might for the lulls. Yeah, so I haven't seen all of Saga of Time of the Evil. I need to go back and finish it. That way I can watch season 2 as well. But I'm curious if there will be any pre and post-COVID differences. That is an excellent point. Shout out Mervoth. Thank you for the 2-banger, homie. Or 5-banger, I mean, sorry.
We just stumbled into this, but we can see firsthand just how many liberties they take with these shows, and why, beyond the expense, why I think a lot of Japanese studios are going to rely more and more on AI to bring stuff to the West, because who wants to deal with this shit?
You got the people that localizers saying, telling everybody to bully them.
Bully them, yeah.
Why would you?
Look at this sub and dub difference. The sub, it pains me, but I can't help overhearing. The dub. And now I'm eavesdropping on them like a total chud. Sub, I'm just so... Dub, I'm such a chud. Guys, I don't ever want to hear any of the fuckers that look, I love the crew I stream with. I love Batch, I love Erwin, I love Gooch, I love all them dudes. I don't ever want to fucking hear that they're not trying to colonize anime. Oh, anime is the bastion of free speech. Oh, anime is, hey, we've escaped from Western media. We've gone over to anime. This is the fucking norm. And they're not listening when I goddamn say it.
Care to keep their jobs in place. If they're literally going around telling people to bully and harass you to hire them, why would you do? I mean, of course, you're gonna go to AI or other people to have it done, because you're not gonna want to give them a job,
right?
Why would you give money to people who hate you?
Oh my God, you sound like one of those alt-right chuds. Why would you give money to people who hate you? But no, in this case, why would any Japanese studio hire Western localizers when they're literally calling for you to be bullied and harassed? I mean, seriously. So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woo.
Now, I'm not quite sure in the backstory. Didn't you say that the creator of the series actually passed away?
Yeah, according to...
It is not only in America, Patrick Roxas. This is happening in Japan as well. Japan has in-house localization teams. There's a reason that Jill was equally as incorrect from a character perspective and from a visualization perspective in Japan as she was in America in the Resident Evil 3 remake. It is not only in America. You need to wipe that from your noggin. You're objectively incorrect. This is happening in Japan as well.
Sarah, I'm not familiar, so I'm not gonna try to say that I am. But I guess this was...
It doesn't matter if it's because of Japan or because why it's happening is irrelevant. It is happening. One Piece live action is colonized in One Piece in a different way. I haven't seen One Piece season 2 live action, so I can't speak to it. But thanks for the 2-banger, homie.
This was basically Ouran High School Host Club before Ouran High School Host Club was a thing. And the creator, she said, died, I think, in 2023, and she wasn't that old. She was like 50.
Oh my
gosh. By the time the show's coming out and they're doing all this, she's not even around to say anything, stop it,
back.
whatever. Yeah.
And that's, we talked about another manga creator yesterday who basically was like, stop with the shipping, stop with the, theories, stop whatever. Like, you can do Yubu and your...
Yeah, the gal that makes Gacha Yakuta, she's ardently against the Westerners, the Western COVID colonizers, which is base as fuck.
But don't demand that we change our stuff to suit you.
No, Netflix foreign. It's not because they're telling that Americans and others want this. It's because all those companies, Capcom, Koei Tecmo, Square Enix, what are some others? Sega, Namco, all have direct funding and investments from these American DEI corporations like BlackRock. They're all, like, BlackRock's not just an American thing. They fund every business in the history of ever all over the world. They're funding the Japanese companies as well.
And that's that.
Kay Arana, thank you.
That's a shame. Yeah, so she can't push back. So this is coming from Packer Girls thread. Dear Localizer, stop taking your midlife crisis out on you and I are polar opposites and get help. So let's see what some of these changes are. So the dub, oh God, that's so sad.
It was supposed to be how dignified and bold. Like,
okay, that is a complete. Okay, so just my stance on translations, localizations is sometimes the jokes, the meanings don't land, so you do have to make some changes so it translates to the West. When you change it so it's a complete 180 from what the intention was, or you start inserting your own political bullshit into it, yeah.
Yeah, because.
And I have a very similar stance as Neon. There are some people that take a harder stance than me. They're like, hey, keep the jokes exactly as is, then throw a little explainer up on screen. Frankly, I'm all right with that. If we want to go 100% full, pure translation, and even the jokes that don't make sense in English, throw little explainers up on screen, look, you know what? I'm A-okay with that. I think that there actually is an art to localizing when done correctly, which is, look, 90% of localization is translation. You can translate almost fucking everything. For the few things that can't be translated, look, I have no problem localizing it to something that is contextually the same, but works as a joke in the other language. Thoughts on X region block? I think Japan gonna block. I don't know what you're referring to, if I'm being 100% honest, Burboth. I actually don't know. Sorry, man. I wish I did. I wish I had an opinion on that, but I don't know enough about it.
Sometimes the jokes, the changes aren't that bad. Like, there's one where he said about, feeling like he wasn't strong enough, and he said about I'm being a wuss and something like that. Okay, yeah, that's what we'd say that. But, like, this is clearly, like, completely different. Like, how dignified and bold goes to, oh, God, that's so sad. And was it don't give up on the real life Suzuki? Oh, seriously, learn to love yourself, girl.
When me and Cindy were watching My Dress Up Darling Season 2, even the subtitles had been altered to say shit that was not in the manga. So even if the Japanese dialogue was proper and perfect, the subtitles, while listening to the Japanese audio, were localized, throw in cringe Gen Z shit.
Learn to love yourself, girl. Let's see, Jinkies.
What?
Like Jinkies from Scooby-Doo.
I get it. I don't understand why that was what they put in. Okay.
Now, I will give a pass to Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories, like, everybody knew what they were doing. They did not give a shit. It was like one of the last things that ADV did.
But you know what's funny? The people that came up with that and voiced it and wrote the shit that was very, like, honestly would get you canceled today for most of the stuff they're saying, were the ones that were screaming about other people doing it. And we're mad about Vic Mignon and other stuff, but they're the ones who were writing and doing the voice acting and Ghost Stories. And some of the stuff they said, I'm like,
oh, racist,
oh
misogynistic, homophobic.
These same people who were
absolutely,
cancel everybody else. They were the ones that literally did it.
I know.
And then they're like, we got to cancel everybody else for it. Oh my God, look over there.
Projection. We're one of the good guys. I'm going to cancel you first, so I look like a hero.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Ghost Stories is great.
I'm not offended by it at all. I think it's funny as hell. But I'm just saying, the people who made the jokes, which I think are great, would be like, oh, how dare you, and try to.
Look, as much as a purist as I am when it comes to localization and whatnot, yeah, Ghost Stories hits a bit different. Ghost Stories hits a bit different.
Cancel you for doing the same thing now.
The funny thing is that Ghost Stories on, like, we watch it on Retro Crush, but they bleep out the R word, the R slur. Like, there's some slurs in there that weren't considered.
I watched Ghost Stories on Retro Crush, and it was not bleeped out. That must be something new, because when I watched Ghost Stories on Retro Crush, it absolutely was not bleeped out.
Slurs back in the day, but they bleep them out, and it's kind of like, God, this is so weird to see a show from, like, what was it, like 2000, 2001? Like, it's old. Quarter century, and it's too offensive for Retro Crush, which has a predominantly, I'm assuming, adult audience. Has probably seen this show before, But oh my God, guys!
They probably
oh my God.
have, you know, the same type of people working there to make sure.
Yeah, they do. I know they do.
Offended.
No, I know they do. And this is like this whole scene has been infected with activists from top to bottom. I'm going to be real here. When Retro Crush first came out, we actually were giving it all kinds of praise. I was giving all kinds of praise because I'm like, this is basically everything I used to rent from Blockbuster Video. All the old school anime that we used to watch. A lot of stuff holds up very, very well even today. And they used to retweet me. And then they found out, apparently I heard through the grapevine that on their Discord, they found out who we were. And then they weren't allowed to retweet us anymore.
Elmerbot with a 5-banger. Elon is introducing soon a way to block your feed or response from certain regions. Some will block specific areas. I think Japan will do it because of the West. I don't think so. I think that Japan will, well, when you say Japan will do it, I mean, Japan's not a monolith. They're not going to make an entire, like, call based on, you know, all of Japan blocking what's happening in the West. If anything, I think that there will be, you know, Japanese creators and mangaka and whatnot that do block Western freaks. But why would you want to do that? Like, if it were me, I want to know that there are people somewhere else in the world bastardizing my work so I could call it out. So I don't know. That's interesting. I do like the idea of region blocking, though. Region blocking from India, sound good to me.
Oh, really? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I'm like, you dumbasses. Like, I was getting you free advertising.
Well, fuck you, Retro Crush. Anyway, this is Crunchyroll, too, by the way, from my understanding. So this all tracks. It's Crunchyroll.
Which is Funimation. You know,
look
it's
at this
all
one.
the same people.
How many more times am I going to repeat this, is what that was supposed to say. Anyway, if I want to look like I'm going to commit murder, that's probably why.
Okay.
Like, how do you get that out of localization? What possible translation could you have done to go from how many more times am I going to repeat this to anyway, if I want to look like I want to commit murder, that's probably why. Someone, please, I dare ya. I dare ya, wokies on X. Make an excuse for this. Try and justify it with a straight fucking face.
Okay.
And yes, you're right. Region blocking India and Bangladesh will cut out 90% of the fake-ass MAGA accounts. You're absolutely correct. 100%, Matt Stanford.
Let's see this one. I just knew I was making a weird face. Oh, no. Dub, I was making a face like I eat villagers. How could you? Well, that one's...
I mean, that was not so bad, but still, like, that's your go-to? I'm eat villagers?
Male pride is such a pain. Fragile masculinity is at it again.
That's...
And there's the... Here, like, male pride is such a pain. That already falls within your agenda. Why would you just not leave that as is? Why would you not leave that one as is? You have to double, triple, and quadruple down and add in the fucking Twitter words, fragile masculinity. That's not even going to mean anything in 2 or 3 years when the lingo moves on. Male pride is such a pain would have been eternal. Fragile masculinity, insta-dated. Instantly dated.
Their favorite one, they use that a couple times, I guess.
Toxic males. Oh, let's see here. True. Well, I'd rather be unfair than uncute. What?
One word. They turned one word into an entire sentence that is completely fucking irrelevant. You don't hate localizers enough.
I mean, look, sometimes you do have to match up it is a dub, so you have to match the lips, the mouth movements.
Well, yeah, but if you have to match the mouth movements, you could keep it in line. You could, if the line is true and you need to match the mouth movements, you could do something along the lines of, yes, I can believe that, or I do think that I've heard that before. I do think what you're saying is true. Something that is equally long to match the lip movements that actually gets the fucking point across. True, in no way, shape, or form equates to I'd rather be unfair than uncute.
One word wouldn't, you know, even if it was a couple words, that's not going to match.
Yeah. Let's see here. Wait, please delete this one. You traitor, I said kill it with fire. Well,
some of them are they're trying to appeal to the Utes.
Now here's literally the exact opposite. No is well, yeah, duh. So we have yes and no, literally the wrong. And while we're out, if luck is on my side is now, of course, you worm and bumbling buffoon. Wait.
I'm trying to rationalize this one. And while we're out, if luck is on my side, of course not, you worm and bumbling buffoon. How? Where did you pull this from? I do my rewatches in another form, sub then dub, and some change way too much. I do something similar. I usually watch sub first, and if I liked the anime enough to do a rewatch, I'll rewatch in dub to compare them. Some things I'll never watch in dub. I've never seen Dragon Ball Super in dub. I will never see Dragon Ball Super in dub. I watch Dragon Ball in Japanese, and that's fucking it. Well, yeah, it's revisionist. You're exactly correct. It's absolutely revisionist.
What?
I don't even. Okay, note to you: don't do the dubs. Just read. Or just go with the actual subs, and hopefully they didn't ruin that too.
The Holy Grail of Romance. It's so cute. Camera eats first. Well, that's, oh God. Okay, so now I'm having flashbacks to our time as Disney bloggers.
Yeah.
We were not, the kids used to get so annoyed, so we went to Disney often and we ate at restaurants. And
I won't watch ReZero on Crunchyroll. They screw up the sub so bad. Like, are you saying, when you say they screw up the sub, do you mean that the sub, you're watching in Japanese and even the subtitles are wrong, like what I was saying with My Dress Up Darling? Something should only be watched in dub. Baccano, dude, hard agree with Molly. Hard agree with Molly. Baccano is a dub anime. You watch Baccano dubbed. Bebop, absolutely. Bebop, I've never even seen Bebop subbed. I won't watch Bebop subbed. Shout out to Baccano, one of the true greats that nobody ever talks about because it's fucking inaccessible unless you sail the high seas.
Ever often. That was the thing we did. And they were so annoyed because we would always get everybody get something different and be like, okay, well, you guys can't eat until we get pictures of it. And we have to put it on the freaking internet.
Well, this one's a stupid. Okay, I get Kara eats first, but you don't have to change that. Yeah, it's so cute. And you're taking a picture was totally fine. Like, there's no reason to change that one at all. And that's just dumb. Kara eats first. That's stupid. I'm sorry. First. Yeah, it's so cute was much better.
Think you dodged.
Yeah, Black Lagoon. I do enjoy the Black Lagoon dub. Yes. Hellsing has to be in English. I don't know if I've ever seen Hellsing in English, honestly. If I have, it didn't stick out to me. But Black Lagoon does have a good dub. Yes.
The Bullet. Yeah, some of them. I mean, they really like. Look, I mean, this is a
Yu Yu Hakusho has a good dub. I'll agree. Yu Yu Hakusho has a good dub.
Tough one because I'm sitting here thinking like my introduction to anime was Battle of the Planets and Robotech. And both of those were heavily modified from the original Japanese. But that being said, that was a different time. You can't get away with jelly donut rice cakes anymore. You know, current year, everybody expects kind of a one-to-one translation, and they will call your ass out. We didn't know back then. We didn't know that Robotech was Macross. We didn't know Battle of the Planets was Gotcha Man. We didn't know there was a totally different translation. We had no idea. They tried to bring these shows over for. Yeah,
Crispin Freeman is a good voice actor. I agree. I'm sure he's like all the rest. He's a absolute fucking loser and insufferable to listen to his politics. But Crispin Freeman is a good voice actor. I'll agree.
For Western audiences, and just to get them on the air, I think sometimes they had to take a lot of liberties with them.
Yeah, Uranus and Neptune were not cousins.
Cousins, yes, they were cousins. Melvin and all this other shit. So yeah, it's there's a lot, man. There's so much going on here.
Apparently, it keeps happening. The toxic mess.
This entire anime is butchered. You and I are polar opposites. Like I can't imagine watching this in dub. You're effectively watching an entirely different show. So many of the changes were the polar opposite of what was being said. It is like it's like comparing Funimation Dragon Ball Z to the manga. You're effectively getting an entirely different set of characters.
Masculinity, what happens over and over again.
And no, 2012 was not the peak of anime dubs. Like 1989 to like 1999 was the peak of anime dubs. That's the peak. That's when you got that good shit. That awful shit, but that good shit.
Oh God! And this guy who might be taking this opportunity to go after you again is, and then there's this tool casually sliding into your DMs. LOL.
Who is this for? Because this isn't for the COVID colonizer shonen tards. This isn't for the people that have only ever seen Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, this is my kind of show. I love romance anime. The last 5 anime I've watched, I think 3 of them have been romance anime. Hold on a sec. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Library. Completed. Alright, I watched Monthly Girls Ozaki-kun. Love After World Domination. Like Ocean Cool, it's not romance. Girls Band Cry, which was honestly awful. I watched all the Rascal Does Not Dreams. Did a rewatch of, which was really good, did a rewatch of Show to Cine of, Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable. And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online? Yeah. My dress, like, most of my anime recently, or rewatches of said anime, have been romance things. This isn't even for your fucking shonen tards that have only seen, like, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Demon Slayer. So who is this for?
Well, dick pics. Sort of like, so you like them both then. The chocolate and vanilla swirl of hangouts. What?
That doesn't even make sense. Like, some of the ones they do and they're trying to be, so look how cute and clever I am, are just downright stupid. Sometimes, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I saw other ones that, they're not here, there are other things I had. And some of them were, okay, yeah, okay, that one actually kind of works. And in that case, I'm like, okay, no big deal. But the other ones are like, what the hell?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, okay, so this isn't, and honestly, this is not even close to being the most offensive.
It's still sub. I recommend The Demon King's Daughter is too kind, so wholesome and funny. Yeah, Serranos in the chat watched at least a little bit of that, assuming he's still in the chat. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, that one was on my radar for sure. Either just finished airing or is going to finish within the next week or two.
Dub I've ever seen. The ones where they're constantly shoehorning in or trying to change characters into making their sexuality different, or going on about, you know, modern day American politics in a 10-year-old Japanese anime. You know, it's like, what the hell are you doing? But every time you do this, you take liberties and you get called out for it. You are pushing the Japanese studios more and more to use AI to do the translations in-house, so there is an authentic translation. See also Seven Seas Manga, like they just sold themselves, it was like a month ago, and they were notorious for censoring a lot of their light novels. I'm like, well, why license it? Why license it in the first place if you're gonna change
We
it?
actually covered that. What he's referring to right now, the light novel censorship, we covered that when that was announced as well.
Right.
I don't get that either.
I mean, again, this is not 1984. People expect one-to-one translations, and if the content is too spicy or too offensive for you, then don't license it.
Well, they're saying other countries are having the same problems, that the localizers there are starting to do the same thing in their countries as well, where they're like taking it upon themselves to insert stuff that wasn't there.
You hear that, Patrick? Not just America.
Or be cringy in their translations because they're trying to be funny, but it's like painfully stupid.
Yeah. Then you know, throw in these entitled localizers.
Bully them.
Bully them.
Shaming them. Okay.
Bully localizers. This is true. Yeah. If Leon Dukakis here, if Katrina Leon Dukakis wants that bullying to come back, look, I've made it very clear. I'm pro bullying. I'm super pro bullying. Bring back bullying. Bullying is great. bully the shit out of Katrina Dukakis.
Okay, I hope people were sending you emails shaming you. I normally don't say that, but you know what? Fine.
Yeah, and this
she set the ground rules.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So yeah, apparently this person's like all over the place. This
Wait,
is
they're
going
moving to Tokyo still?
No, this was last year.
I was gonna say, like, wait, you tell everybody to shame them, but you okay? If she lives in Tokyo now, but she's telling everybody to write them and shame them.
Yeah.
What the literal hell? I hope they show you the door.
So apparently, this has been going on for a while now, and
we've covered something like this before.
It's going to end. I think all of this is going to end. I think, congratulations. I think the Vic, talking about Vic Mignogna, I think the Vic Mignogna situation actually blew the doors wide off on this whole.
There would not be near as many people invested in this situation if not for what happened to Vic Mignogna. That wasn't really localization so much as it was the cliquey nature of the voice acting industry and how they treat anybody who just has a different ideology than them, how low they're willing to go, lie, cheat, steal, obfuscate. It's some evil shit. But after that, when everybody saw through it, when everybody supported Vic Mignogna, when everybody supported Vic Mignogna, was against Kick Vic, yeah, people started scrutinizing, paying way more attention to how the American side of the industry is being, handled. And it has been heartbreaking. It has been heartbreaking.
Situation. And I think the Japanese studios now are looking at the West and they're like, oh, a big part of the problem of these voice actors.
Charles Culkin says, it pisses me off people still believe he was actual creep. I don't tell the story often, but I'll tell it. I don't tell the story often, but I'll go ahead and tell it. I've got effectively, proof that Vic Mignogna was a good stand-up guy. I'm gonna tell you guys my Vic Mignogna story. So me and a couple friends, me and my ex-wife and my best friend, this is probably 12 years ago, probably 2014, right? 2014-ish. Maybe 2015, but no, I'm almost positive it was 2014. We were traveling, and we were traveling, we were going on vacation. We stopped at a hotel, and we didn't have a whole lot to do, right? Because it's not really part of our major itinerary. So we're just walking around the outside of the hotel talking. It's like midnight. And I see a dude off in the distance on a bench. And he's talking to a cute young girl. And I hear them talking politics. And me, being the asshole that I am, decide I'm going to get involved in this. I walk on up, and holy shit, it's fucking Vic Mignogna smoking a cigar, talking politics to this cute Australian girl. Her name was Esther. And so I insert myself in the conversation. And next thing I know, we are talking about politics and cars until like 2:30, 3 in the morning. Eventually, Vic, he's like, hey, I got an early day tomorrow. Gotta go back to my hotel room. It's nice meeting you. Name's Vic. Shakes my hand, the whole nine. At no point had he introduced himself up to that point. At no point had I introduced myself. He had no idea I knew who he was. Wasn't gonna make a thing of it. We just talked politics and cars for 2.5, 3 hours from like midnight to 3 a.m. So, fast forward a couple years, all the Kick Vic stuff happens. Well, me and Esther, cute Australian girl he had been talking to, who had only been in the country about 2 weeks, by the way, we become friends. We follow each other on Facebook. We talk back and forth, stuff like that. So all the Kick Vic stuff happened. I messaged Esther. I was like, hey, been a while. I'm curious if you heard about this Vic Mignogna stuff. And she's like, no, what's going on? And I explained everything. And then I asked her, and by the way, I want to paint this picture for you. Cute Australian girl, only been in the country for 2 weeks, is also just stopping by this hotel room on her road trip basically to California where she's taking her new job. If you're gonna sexually harass or whatever or try and get down and dirty with, like, that's a primo target, right? That's private alchemy practice all over it. So I asked her, I was like, did he try anything or send any signals or anything with you before me and my friends showed up? She's like, no. They're just sitting on the bench talking about the differences between American and Australian politics. There was literally no indication he was trying to do or say anything weird. It's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Like, again, if she didn't get any weird vibes, if he didn't try anything, if she didn't say anything, if, you know, if you've got this very attractive, new to the country girl chilling out in a fucking hotel, outside a hotel on a bench with a dude, and they're just talking, like, that is primo target material, and nothing happened. So yes, I'm sorry, I find the Vic Mignogna stuff to be a bit bullshit. Like, that was all I needed.
These localizers.
I love that wide off. It blew the doors wide off. You're like channeling me there.
Yeah. Well, it's like, look, I couldn't decide what I was going to say. So it's just like,
that's me every day.
But no,
By the way, side story to that, 2 years later, I saw Vic again, this time at an actual convention, like, you know, paid to see him, get his autograph, things like that. And before I even got up there, like before we started, he's like, I remember you. We've met before, haven't we? That's how good of a dude he is. 2 years later, he remembered me because we had stayed up all fucking night talking. And I was like, yeah, we hung out one night outside this hotel talking about cars and talking shit on Obama all night. He's like, that's right, I do remember that. And like we had fun talking shit on Obama. It was great.
Yeah, it's basically you open the door for these studios to take a good hard look at what was being done at the West. And I don't know if they were paying attention. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they were paying much attention before. I think they handed the stuff off to the companies in the West. The West packaged it however they thought it would sell over here. They trusted Americans to make the right decision because who the hell would blow their own foot off with a shotgun? Well,
these
California activists would. Yeah, because it's not their money. At the end of the day, it's not the translators' money, the voice actors' money.
Well, it's not theirs. They don't own it, but they're telling everybody to shame everybody to get them their way. Why should they take a loss in sales and reputation to make you happy?
Yeah. And that's just it. So now they can do it themselves. Plus, they don't have to share. If the Japanese do it themselves, they don't have to give a Western studio a cut. They can just
so
bring
way
it
to
directly
go,
to the
Trina.
States.
You're going to cost a bunch of people.
Yeah, but that's not what they're going to do. The Japanese, like, now, don't get me wrong. Hopefully they go the AI route. Hopefully they use AI just to replace all these absolute fucking losers. But they're just going to do what they've been doing, which is hiring or contracting directly to the localizers instead of going through third-party intermediaries.
A lot of jobs.
Her and so many people like her.
Yeah, and if she lives in Tokyo, I think that, you need to get your ass back here if you want to make those kind of demands because I don't think it's going to fly.
I am sure
I hope you're right, but I don't think so.
Slightly chonky Western woman. I'm sure she's fitting in really well over there. And there are a lot of people. I mean, I've watched videos of people that moved to Japan, and yeah, if you're not Japanese and you're not like a size 2, you have a real hard time over there. I'm just saying. Did you see something that, like in China, they're apparently hiring token whites to work in China?
I thought that was hilarious.
The Vic Mignogna situation got me to walk away from anime entirely because I couldn't stand the sight of Funimation or Crunchyroll. I just started to get back into it over the last year. Honestly, for a long time, me too. Like, I would rewatch old shit and whatnot, but anything new, I just flat out reject it because of the Vic Mignogna stuff. Absolutely. Ever thought of having Vic on your stream? I would love to have Vic on my stream. I don't know how to contact Vic. He is a very difficult guy to get a hold of.
Is that for pictures like for business offices and stuff to make it look like there's diversity? They were hiring
diversity.
Literally, it's literally.
And honestly, if I did get him on, I would really want to talk religion with him. I would. I would really. Remember that clip I showed you guys a few weeks ago about him going off on the protests and whatnot? I would really want to talk to him about religion.
Literally token whites. They were hiring white people and Westerners to be in the pictures just for the actors and models just to be in the pictures. And then they don't actually work there. But they were trying to present a fake, probably when they're trying to make deals with the Western people. Oh, look, we have people work.
I would not say no to that at all, Mervoth. If you could get me in touch with Vic Mignogna, I would never say no to that. That would be a dream guest.
Here.
Oh my
God.
God.
They don't. You're literally the token whites.
That needs to be an episode of South Park. Token Black comes back as Token White.
There you go, Token White.
It's because Tolkien. Never mind. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture.
And that's that, crew. That's that. Just even more absolute scumbaggery coming from the localizers. again, from what I've seen, I haven't seen You and I Are Polar Opposites. And if I do end up watching it, it's only going to be in the sub. Because the dub, it's basically a different show. That right there showed it. The dub is effectively an entirely different fucking show. I don't know why anybody would want that. I don't know how Japan keeps allowing this. And they wonder why we sail the high seas, right? They had to shut down high anime. Oh, you know, we're getting these piracy sites taken down. Well, it's because we're not giving money to Crunchyroll for dumb shit like this. We're not giving money to any of these big name companies if you're going to bastardize it in this regard. That's all I gotta say on that. All right, we're gonna end it here. We've been going about 2.5 hours. I know the Sunday shows usually go longer. But, like I said, with me traveling tomorrow, I've got a lot of work to do before I actually get into, that way I can head out and it'd be a good travel. oh my God, I've got so much I've got to do. So shout out. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Let me get a raid going. 68 of you in here. Let me get a raid going. One sec. Who is live? Tomby, Yarnwitch, Will of Fans, Digital Soul Spark, Carolyn. Oh, Mama Akko. Raid Mama Akko. Absolutely. Mama Akko raid in the house. All right. Thank you guys so much for the donos. I truly appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. I will see you guys tonight for me and Hypno streaming Reanimal over on my gaming channel or on his channel. Hopefully I can get everything taken care of I need to get taken care of before I leave tomorrow. It is so fucking stressful. But we are like 4 circles. Tell Mama Akko, Vital Idol Raid. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise. And watch today's video if you haven't.